Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop arguing me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dad. Come on, man. Can you feel the pain? Into him now, about the new world. Ain't no train. Papa's got a brand new eye.
Howdy, y'all. This is Damani Felder. These are perilous times in American history, and now more than ever, we need individuals who are willing to wage war on the ideological battlefield with like-minded individuals. And I can think of no better place to start than my friends at the Unfriend show. So thank you for being here, and enjoy the show.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Here, can I see your phone then?
Yes.
Hey guys, you unplug it real quick. Hey guys, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. We're broadcasting to Instagram. This is the first time we've ever done this, and it seems to be readily popular. Quite a few people are joining, but this is new. It's a little weird, Liv, because it's not broadcasting the way it's supposed to. You see this?
What does it look like?
Well, look, it's right up there. It's right on my screen.
Yeah. Interesting.
So it's supposed to broadcast in a completely different way simultaneously. Maybe I have to choose that broadcast, what it looks like. See, because this is what I see. So everyone can see it. And there's two windows here. And there's a window on the right, and there's a window on the left, and I've recreated all the windows over for Instagram, and it's not displaying correctly, which means that this isn't going to look good. You guys can see I'm showing you now on Instagram, and it's supposed to give you your very own window to the right. See that? So everything would be lined up, and you could see, but this is showing a middle look. And there it just changed. Sorry, folks. Just give us a second. Damani's not here yet anyway. So,
no.
It's not. Huh.
It's showing the main screen.
Is it now?
Yes, it is.
So it's showing a full 16 by 9. Hey, Instagram people, you guys are watching. Can somebody go over to Instagram, tell me what you can see? Let me know what your thoughts are. And so we can get the show started. Yeah,
because that's on my phone. I don't have Instagram on my computer, though. So
well, this is the broadcast, so that's my problem. It's I'm looking at the stream. The stream's good. And if you guys can just let us know real quick. If it's broadcasting in 16 by 9, then we don't need to do this anymore. I mean, this is a nice feature, though, right?
It's a great feature.
Having that vertical. The question is, do we do it or do we not?
I mean, as long as it's showing the full 16:9. The reason we stopped going live on Instagram was it
would do that zoom in thing.
It would do the zoom in thing, and you'd only see like half of my face, half of your face, barely any of the videos. So there was no point.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that looks good. Sorry, guys. Let's just do this. Let's call this good.
Sure.
And then now I don't have to make extra slides. I can just stream to Instagram every night with no problem.
That works.
I wish I could close all this because this is a ton of data. You know what I mean?
Can you just? Oh, you can't. Can you? It's gonna
no.
be there
I'd have
no
to.
matter
I'd have to end the live video.
we
But
don't
that's
do
so
that.
what? Who cares? All right. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show, man.
Hello, Instagram.
Hello, Instagram. What's going on? Liv, give us. Let's go back to the pre-show.
Yes.
Liv, give us a rundown. What's going on? And Damani. Hey, Damani's late, and that's because he's black. So.
Oh my God! I'm gonna tell him you said that.
Yeah. I mean,
You're
what would you expect?
Oh my goodness. Horrible.
So, I don't like doing the happy birthday thing because I feel like I'm Hillary Clinton, where she's like, happy birthday to me, future U.S. president. You remember that?
Yes.
And
very cheesy.
Yeah. And I don't want to do that, but I got to go with the flow. So I'll give myself a happy birthday cake. And you go ahead and walk them through everything.
Okay. So update on guests. Of course, Damani will be here tonight. Monday is the older millennial. I confirmed with him today. He will be here.
Nice.
April 6th, actually, and sometime next week, Scott Lloyd will join us for about 15, 20 minutes via Zoom to update us on what's going on in Warren County.
It's been huge.
So he'll be here for a little bit next week. Then April 16th.
Matt Pretty sent me the actual appeal video. So we have the appeal
nice.
and the vote. So we might have to dabble
awesome.
into that later.
And Matt Purdy and Olivia, the reporter from Breitbart, are also going to be on. I just have to get a hold of them.
Nice.
Somebody needs to send me their contact information.
I don't go ask Philip. I don't have it. Why would I have it?
Because they have been reaching out to you.
No. Just go into a whole other conversation. Go ahead.
Okay,
Next.
so April 16th, Adam and Bethany Coogan will be here.
Yep.
Adam is a J6er, and he went on the run. So we get to hear about that.
That's going to be great. Great show.
May 1st, Damani will be back. He is an official staple on the show every first Friday of the month.
When he's on time.
He will be here. Oh, my gosh.
He's on time.
He's never going to let him live that down.
No, he's late.
And then May 15th, T.S. Dixon will be here again as well.
Perfect timing.
Working on a few others. A radio show host has been in. He was at CPAC this year working on him.
Yep.
And then Barry's going to come back on. Lisa Regina is going to come back on.
Yeah,
so
a whole bunch of stuff coming on. All right.
And it's Matthew's birthday.
Yeah, it's my birthday. Oh, I got to put that on there. So,
yes, and the goal is $520, just like it was $460 for me, so $10 per year. So.
Gosh, getting expensive in my old age. It's always weird doing these birthdays, because it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's kind of ostentatious. But I'm gonna participate. I'm going to do it. I understand. There's been many best wishes already today. I've gotten several messages, so I'm just going to go ahead and say, fine, I'll do it. Happy birthday, Matt. There it is. There's
you need the birthday crown. Birthday princess.
No, not doing that crap. So there it is. All right. Well, we got a show to do. Thank you, everybody. Sunday's the birthday. Olivia got the donations up, and there it is. So let me make sure I got this, and we'll put that right there. And there it is. God, I don't have enough crap on my screen, Livy, that I need this. Happy birthday. There it is. Okay. All right. Are we happy now? Everyone's happy? Okay, good. You got your birthday stuff?
Yes.
All right. 52 years young. All right. So we got a busy show. We've got Damani coming soon. You have a happy birthday cake, too. You don't need that. You've already have enough.
I don't need to celebrate a second birthday this year.
No,
I'm
you eat
old
enough dessert.
Yes, I'm okay with that.
You have been enjoying many a sweets, and I love it because there's this video of what's his face from Breaking Bad. Bryan Cranston.
Yes, that one.
So Bryan Cranston, I don't know what it is, but basically his wife's trying to lose weight. And she's like, buying low fat this and low fat that and working out. So he goes and he thumbs the scale So like he super glues the components of the scale, so every time she stands on it, it doesn't drop any weight. It stays exactly the same. And then he gets all the low fat sweet chocolate, fake chocolate stuff, and gets the exact same look of them and replaces them with real chocolates. And then he takes like the milk and takes the 1% milk, skim milk, throws it out and puts in whole milk and puts a little bit of water in it. And then he takes the sour cream and stuff and he changes the calories from 400 calories per serving, and he takes out the 0 with whiteout and makes 40. And he grabs her vegan waffles and he grabs butter and he injects the vegan waffles with butter. And then he's sitting there sipping his coffee. As she walks by, she bends over to pick up the trash can and he's just checking out her ass. And he's an ass man. He doesn't want his wife to lose weight. And she consistently tries to lose weight and he doesn't want it. So completely unrealistic and stupid. But I'm the same way. When my wife tries to get into the, I want to lose weight kick, I'm like, nope, you look perfect. Don't even change.
I'm at the point where menopause isn't going to let me shed the weight anymore. So I might as well embrace it.
You look beautiful. I don't care. I think you're glorious the way you look.
You know what's funny is before menopause, I could pretty much eat almost anything and stay consistently between 130, 135. And if I just stopped eating the junk, I went down to 130. Now I'm at 145 and I am consistently at 145 no matter what I eat. So I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm just 10 pounds heavier.
There you go. You look great. Deal with it.
Works for me.
Folks, Instagram, I don't know what's going on.
On the phone, it's working perfect.
Everyone says it's just go out, come back in, chat, see what it likes. But we are on Instagram. First time ever. Not many podcasts are on Instagram, and it's pretty cool to see. So just let's see how it works. Tell me how it goes. Make sure you guys chat. Keep up the conversation in Instagram. Let's get going with the show. We're going to be busy. Once again, appreciate the donations for birthday. I'm not. Olivia's in a competition. I'm not. If we get there, we get there. If we don't, we don't. She's very, very excited that she made so much on her birthday.
Yeah, you kicked my ass last year though.
We'll see. I don't, whatever. Just enjoy the show, folks. That's what I want more than anything. That's the greatest birthday gift in the world. Of course, I'm lying. Here we go. Let's get busy.
Starting it off right.
Starting it off. Anonymous donated $52 for 52 years old. Happy birthday and happy Easter. Thank you. Happy Easter to you. That's important to me. So have a happy Easter. Tim Burchett was being funny about Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz went on Benny and talked about space aliens and abductions and all this crazy ass stuff. So Tim Burchett thought that he would be funny too. Here's the opening video, and Damani will be here any minute.
Former colleague of yours, Matt Gaetz, making some pretty shocking statements yesterday about aliens. Take a look.
I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. Aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans.
Even Benny's face. Look at Benny's face. Even
look at him right there.
Even Benny is like, this is too much even for me, who is a total clickbait guy who lies to his audience often. This is a little much. Matt Gaetz he's off the rails, folks. Here's the rest.
Of migrants.
All right. I mean, I don't have the tinfoil hat on just yet, Congressman, but I'm wondering, kind of how you react to that, because you are connected. You're on the UFO subcommittee. I mean, I'm just wondering what you make of that. Have you heard anything like that?
Well, I'm still a member of Congress, so I can't really comment too much on what Matt said. But I will say this.
Wait, seriously? Are you being serious, or is that tongue in cheek?
I'm being 100% serious. Okay. I've been 100% serious. I've been briefed by just about every alphabet agency there is. And I'll just tell you this. If they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up. You'd be up at night worrying about or thinking about this stuff. We just need to disclose it all. I'm sick of it. Well, I was briefed. I'll just tell you this. I was briefed last week on an issue, 2 weeks ago, and it would have set the earth off. this country would have come unglued. I think if they would have heard all that I heard, they would demand answers, and we need to. But it's never going to get. Unfortunately, it just keeps getting covered up, and the people that know are dying or disappearing, as the case may be.
Wow.
And for the record, I'm not suicidal, and I don't take risks.
I'm glad you said that. I'm speechless, Congressman. We will have you back.
Dude, you're getting yanked, bro. Come on. How do you not know who your audience is? How do you not know how Tim Burchett shows up? I mean, he doesn't have a funny bone in his body, but he's dry. He should be English. He's absolutely has a dry sense of humor. The moment he says, I'm not suicidal, it should have just totally canvassed this situation. People are so used to getting fleeced now, they can't even recognize it when somebody's dragging them.
Should be. And I told the president, release it all. And the problem is the people that are around the president don't know and the president doesn't know the questions to ask. A few of us are going to have to get with the president and tell him what he needs to ask and where he needs to look. I mean, we're in meetings and they give addresses and tell locations of items, I'll just say. And the public has a right to know, dadgummit. It's your tax dollars.
Absolutely.
Let's get it out there.
You got my attention, Congressman. I appreciate you being as forthcoming as you have been tonight. And we look forward to having you back. Look, I know Donald Trump wants to disclose something. He hasn't done it yet, but I think he wants to be the president to do that. Tim Burchett, thank you.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
I don't know. Come on. Is he dragging him or is he serious? It seems
it's hard to tell with him because he seems serious.
He's
but
so dry.
I don't know. But honestly, I think what happens with Matt Gaetz is he was like, pass that over.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to talk about aliens when I'm on the show tonight.
I don't think they smoke cocaine anymore. I think it's more. I think they're doing the booger sugar. I think Matt Gaetz is too high end for smoking crack. I think he's a coke. I think he's
too many martinis.
Yeah, I think he's a methamphetamine guy or something to that effect. Just a thought. I mean, well, of course, I have no information whatsoever if this is true.
Far-fetched.
It just I don't know. You tell me. What do you think?
No.
You think it's not serious?
No. I aliens breeding with humans?
No, I don't. I know that, but do you think that that Burchett was being honest? That's the question.
I don't know, because I've seen a few clips with him, and he's been really very animated and very pissed when he's in those clips that I've seen.
Right. He's just a grumpy, ornery guy. You know what I mean? That's just the way he is.
But I mean, it seems like he's acting serious, but what he's saying almost seems comical.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know to take him serious, but I don't know.
I don't know what to buy.
I'm not sure.
At this point, I'm just going to say it's humor. But if Matt, here's the thing, guys. If there's here's the problem. There's space aliens, right? And aliens are having intersexual dimensional sex, unprotected sex and taking the Lord's name in the vein and using intravenous drug use with using dirty needles and all these things. Well, this would be top secret. So I have a feeling that this is an April Fool's thing. I have a feeling that's exactly what it was.
When did it air?
It probably was right on April Fool's.
Okay,
because
I totally forgot about April Fool's. It totally.
Well, if there are space aliens, it completely changes God and the religion, and it changes all major religions across the planet, and that's not a good thing. No jacket tonight. Can you explain this?
Yes,
I don't like explaining. I feel weird explaining this myself. I feel like I'm like, hey guys, celebrate my birthday. But I'm like those people that go, hey, for my birthday this year, I want a donation to the Dumb Friends League. And I'm like, you're a loser. Who asked for their own thing? No, I'm not going to do that. So you're going to have to take care of this.
Tonight is birthday celebration for Matthew. It's his birthday night because his birthday is Sunday.
Yeah.
We're going to do the jacket.
Yep.
Entries next Friday.
Yep.
So we just
there it is.
Skip the week.
Birthday. There it is.
Birthday.
Next week we're doing it. Here we go. Joe Rogan and a debate with Constantine. Kevin, Bernard donated $20. Happy birthday, young man. Thank you, Kev. Appreciate you. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. I see everybody's happy birthday. We love you. It is Red Friday. Thank you very much. We're waiting for the person in the middle. That is Damani. We're doing a dyslexic Oreo tonight. So just like such a racist. See, you really are racist. I'm not. You're just you say racist stuff all the time.
He needs to buy a watch though.
He can't even get a driver's license. How the hell is he?
That's a good
He can't
point.
even get voter ID. How is he going to get a watch?
That's a good point.
I'm just going to tell him that when he comes on and says, Liv says you can't get voter ID, so she's not surprised you don't have a watch either. Damani will be here shortly. Joe Rogan and debate with Constantine. These are two leftover slides. So this is actually, go ahead, Liv. Keep putting them in. Crush it. Just hammer them. Just don't hold them. Just run them out.
Got it.
You missed that one. There it is. Joanne Townsend donated $50. Thank you, Joanne. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for doing that. We appreciate you. Happy birthday, Matt. Thank you, Joanne. Here is Joe Rogan and a debate with Constantine. And there's some language in here, so I apologize for those who get offended by language. You don't probably watch this show if you do. But it makes a point that no longer is debate. This whole debate bro thing is really kind of a nonsense joke. It's not debate. It's who can say something that the other person doesn't understand or doesn't have the ability because of either ignorance or intellectual capacity where they may not understand something, and then to go ahead and eliminate conversation because that person is in this supposed debate bro mode that changes and makes somebody feel stupid, and then that's the win. Hey, D, what's going on, man? How are you?
It's good to be here. Sorry, I'm running late. It was
listen, don't. Olivia made the point, and she made it clear. She says, listen, he can't even figure out how to get voter ID because he's black. How could be expected to get a watch?
Well played. Very well played.
I thought it was a little racist, a little edgy, but she thought it was okay, I guess. So, no, we're kidding.
Hey, we love that kind of humor around here, right? That's what makes this friendship work so well.
We do, buddy. We do. It's good to see you, man. You're looking great tonight. How are things? You okay?
Oh, yeah. Just running around a million miles an hour. Of course, it's Holy Week. So on top of all that, just, running errands, still juggling the full-time job and whatnot. But it's good to be here. That's all I can really say.
It is. Let me get you all dialed in there. You're looking great. Okay. So here's the thing. This is good. You were walking right to this. We just played a video of Tim Burchett, and he was on News Nation, Newsmax, whatever. And Benny, you know what? Let's play it. I want to get your opinion on this. Tell me what you think of this video. I'm not going to play it all, but you tell me. Because you understand Tim Burchett like I do. He's dry. He has English, dry wit and humor, but he's also like proverbial cantankerous grumpy pants. So it's like I'm not sure if he's dragging this anchor, and I think he is on April Fool's. But you tell me if he is or not. Here it is.
Former colleague of yours, Matt Gaetz, making some...
Oh, D, and two other things. One, we're on Instagram. We now have the ability to stream it live to Instagram with our software. So this is really cool.
Nice. So
it's going to go out to your network too. And but that's big because Instagram's finally growing for us. So we're live there. Yeah. And we're not doing jacket night tonight. So it's birthday weekend for me. So we're doing the birthday thing. So FYI.
Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, man. My pleasure. My pleasure. Here it is.
Pretty shocking statements yesterday about aliens. Take a look.
I had someone
watch Benny's face
who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. Aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants.
All right. I mean, I don't have the tinfoil hat on just yet, Congressman, but I'm wondering, kind of how you react to that because you are connected. You're on the UFO subcommittee. I mean, I'm just wondering what you make of that. Have you heard anything like that?
Well, I'm still a member of Congress, so I can't really comment too much on what Matt said. But I will say this.
Wait, seriously? Are you being serious, or is that tongue in cheek?
I'm being 100% serious.
Okay.
I've been 100% serious. I've been briefed by just about every
Thank you.
alphabet agency there is. And I just tell you this, if they would release the things that I've seen, you
All
would
right.
stay up.
So right after this, he's like, just want to let everyone else know I'm not suicidal. So I think he's dragging Candace and Gates and all these clowns and a little bit because of these wild conspiracies. What do you think? You think Tim's being serious? Are we sexualizing with aliens out there, or is this a drag?
Sorry. So if you heard the noise in the background, my little one has discovered a motorized bubble wand, so she's running around. That's what that sound was. So yeah, we're in our bubble era. But no,
we would rather see that. We would much rather than the videos we watch. Go ahead.
No, I hadn't seen that clip before, to be honest with you. I've started to almost get a little bit nervous when April Fool's Day rolls around because it's so difficult sometimes to separate truth from fiction. So who knows if he was being honest or not? I have fun with it most times, but I have to start to be careful too because we live in this time, in this day and age where everyone will take a lot of things at face value. So sometimes it's hard to even realize or separate or differentiate. Is this like for real? Is it not? I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree like anybody else out there, but that seems a little bit beyond the pale, if you will. But I guess time will tell, right? Who knows?
Yeah. What do you think? Are we intergalactic built beings? Is that on the menu for 2026? What are your thoughts?
I'm more on team reptilian shape-shifting humanoid lizards.
As so is Hillary.
Show.
It's funny. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton also agree, since they are a part of the contingency and demographic of lizard people. So I think this falls well within the parameters of what you can expect from those two.
I would agree.
Listen. I think Burchett was having a little fun simply because
he can.
And second of all, I think he's got the satire thing down because he is so dry. Let's hope, but we're gonna find. I mean, I guess we'll find out. I don't know. I can't imagine that tomorrow we're gonna find out that there's space aliens running around and we're having crossbreeding, pollination style marathons in undisclosed Holiday Inn Expresses around the country.
We've got some different kind of aliens to worry about right now. Anyway, let's stay focused on that for now.
And also in Holiday Inn Expresses, from what I've heard too, since we're paying for those things. So every story has a little bit of truth, I guess. Here is, we need a shout out in Virginia to keep this ballot measure. David, we are going to talk about it. We are from Virginia. We talk about it all the time. Joseph Hillstrom donated $21.10. Happy birthday, Matthew. Enjoy your day. I will. Thank you so much, Joey. David, I appreciate you. We are talking about it every single week, every single night, every single day. We're talking about the election and the ballot measure and the vote on the 21st. And trust me, we want to absolutely keep exposing this. And watch our show, because we did talk about the Warren County stolen RNC chairman seat with Scott Lloyd. He was on our show. We broke that with Breitbart News, and we've been talking about it and working together, and we're going to continue to cover it until Scott Lloyd wins that election. So thanks for talking about that, David. Instagram follower over there chiming in. Joe Rogan. Have you had a chance to listen to Constantine? I know all of these Charlemagne the God and Constantine and all these weird ass names. Have you heard about, I don't know what it is about being a debate bro that you have to have this cool name, but have you heard of Constantine?
I have not, no.
Okay. Well, he's pretty good, minus the name. And, I'm sure there's going to be a Genghis Khan and Charlemagne out there, and, Emperor Sul Mali and stuff like that. But this guy gets in with Joe Rogan. There's a little bit of foul language here, but he makes some good points about debating with people and making logical conclusion, deductive reasoning great again. Listen to this. Tell me what you think.
Can we just argue the fucking point?
Well, I think at a certain point in time, you're going to have to choose real opponents. It's like the Jake Paul thing.
But see, I want the real opponents,
right,
but where are they? Where are they?
Right,
and we've had people on the show where it's like we had this woman from the Guilty Feminist podcast, and she came on and we gave her 40 minutes. She basically laid out her whole vision, and it was respectful and polite, and it was a great conversation, actually. The moment I said, well, you've been speaking for this time, here's some of the things that I see that don't make sense in my head. Can you help me out? Immediately goes personal. Mm-hmm. Immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what Francis is saying. Like, I'd love to see people who have an ability to argue the point.
Yeah.
And that's what Dave does. He argues the point, and that's either persuasive to you or it isn't.
But I think the problem is their point is not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is the problem.
Yeah. And so you have to go personal. You have to attack people. You have to use ad hominems. It's the only way you can get anything off. And then you could try to get that person emotional and trap them.
So why don't they change their opinion then?
It's a good question, because if you're ideologically captured, especially if you're on the left, like it's a very clear ideology and there's like real blowback for deviating from it.
Yeah.
As we know, right?
Yeah.
Because the moment you say, well, you're no longer on the left anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Well,
know.
a lot of people have been kicked out of it.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been pushed into some weird quasi homeless land.
All right, so there's the argument. Damani, we'll get you first, and then Olivia, your thoughts on what you see. That this is in regards to the debate bro circuit, and these are people like Dave Smith and Joe Rogan has people on who do debates, and you see Andrew Wilson debating, and there's this giant network of people who have seemed to mimic Jordan Peterson and others. Even Cenk Uygur and Ben Shapiro, where there's this new dance-off. It used to be you'd take each other back around a building and beat the hell out of each other and then come back and buy a beer and you'd be friends. But now it's like you have to get into this mental Spartacus into the ring, and you throw blows mentally, and then you dust each other off, and somehow you congratulate each other on being ostentatious and pompous. To me, it's nauseating. Damani, I'd like to get your thoughts on the whole circuit. You know some of these people. You've been in the ring, and then Olivia, I want to get your thoughts. Go ahead.
No, it's super interesting. I was actually talking to my older brother Trey about this. Those of you out there who remember my older brother, and we were chatting about the degree to which the political debate, if you will, almost is it's almost tantamount to a Jake Paul boxing match or celebrity boxing match. They don't really matter. They're very inconsequential at the end of the day. Everyone wants to have their little soundbite that they can go clip and run and post on social media to posture as if they won the debate, right? End of the day, in many cases, some of these people are more interested in maintaining the appearance of a divide than they are in actually coming to any sort of constructive conclusion or making any concessions. I think about, there was one influencer, I believe it was Ashley St. Clair, very recently, a couple of years ago, and she was photographed palling around town with Harry Sisson and Angela Belcamino, I believe, who are noted leftists. Why are you doing that? You're sitting there in a Cybertruck having a grand old time if you really do have that much of a disagreement. But it's become sport in a lot of ways. And a lot of people, they'll view this as, this is how I get my entertainment. This is my TV. So they'll sit there and spend all this time getting all jazzed up about what ultimately is not going to change any minds. Because I would argue minds aren't changed by those debates, be they televised or be they live streamed or not. Minds are changed in those one-on-one conversations that you are blessed to have. So it's more important that individuals have those intentional conversations with people one-on-one without all the noise, because the minute you introduce that level of spectacle to political discourse, all too often it becomes more for show than being for solutions. Those are just my takes. Olivia, what do you think?
Yeah.
I think everyone's competing to be the next Charlie Kirk.
Oh.
And now that he's no longer on the scene, because he was the master of it, and he actually was able to have good debates and conversations with people where people actually listened. And there's no one else out there like him anymore. So I think they're all on the bandwagon going, maybe I'm going to be the next Charlie Kirk, but no one is as eloquent and charming as Charlie Kirk is. I don't think he's irreplaceable.
Easy.
Well, you don't do the debate bro thing, so you're not in this
Charlie was different than debate bro. Charlie was engaging in conversation at college campuses, and very rarely did you see him go up against any of the normal staples in opposition. I think what made Charlie unique is that he tried to find places where people could agree versus disagree. And I think when you look at people, like Cenk Uygur or Ben Shapiro or even Candace Owens, Dave Smith is... Dave Smith is a conundrum. I don't agree with what Dave Smith says, but at least he believes in what he says, and he's consistent in his approach most times, even though it comes from a place of ignorance. Nick Fuentes is the same way. He's absolutely consistent in his ignorance, but at least there's that. I don't think Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to say we're witnessing the slow death of the large scale podcast bro movement or phenomenon.
it was almost as if there was a pipeline that was created. I would say most particularly from 2016 maybe 2019, where any individual who had any modicum of success or virality online immediately up, next thing you know, they have a microphone, they're sitting back and just talking, just talking to anybody who will listen. And I think the demand is there for a lot more substantive results than there is just for essentially bloviating for no discernible reason or regurgitating the same talking points, because even y'all have experienced this. The messaging has evolved dramatically over this past decade. You know, back in 2015 or 16, one of the best things you could really say if you're on the right side of the aisle is get off the Democrat plantation. Does that messaging work anymore? No. Anyone who's using it, I think, is ultimately stuck in the past because that dialogue, that debate has had to become far more nuanced and in many cases far more pointed even than that phrase. So I just wanted to interject really briefly. Sorry, I didn't want to hijack the conversation, but
No,
I do think that we're...
You come in late and then you do this? Seriously.
What's wrong with you?
So you're elevating it actually because, okay, so the get off the Democrat plantation, that was the Candace Owens shtick, right? So Candace Owens kind of, she piggybacked. First of all, that wasn't new. That was Bill Cosby who did that. Jordan Peterson flirted with the same thing. Larry Elder flirted with that long before her. And sadly, before all of them, it was actually Don Lemon who came up with it in 2014 on CNN. I know. Hard to shock everybody, but Don Lemon on CNN stood up and said, you know, African-American men, pull your pants up. Get back with the family values, stop degenerating, stick with your kids, you know, create the culture, have family units. And this was incredible that Don Lemon would say this back in 2014, but if you haven't seen the clip, go watch it. But then you saw this movement change, and it went from the Democratic plantation and the modern day slave plantations and the voting farms that they have, and it moved into something of breaking free of woke mind, DEI, Saul Alinsky style thinking. And that's really moved from what, 18, 19, 20, 21. In fact, it was very, very heavy in Donald Trump's campaign to break away from woke ideology. And there's this new thing now that seems to be dividing the right, where you're taking a side between what used to be globalism and isolationism versus what the people on the right are saying this is anti-Semitism, and the people on the left are saying, no, we're just anti-Zionists. And they're two very, very different things. But we're America first. But specifically, we're gonna start with Judaism and Israel as the main culprit for influence in the United States and our politics. Is that as you see it, or do you see a larger topic that I'm missing?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Oh, yeah. Well, what I'm seeing is that things more or less have devolved into what's a better turn of phrase than the phrase I was going to use. That's a little bit on the more colorful side. I think we're seeing people more or less virtue signaling. It's like pissing contest, right? Where people are, oh, well, I am more MAGA, or oh, I am more pro-Israel than the next person. So in this inevitable race to the bottom, it feels like you've got figures who are starting to draw these ideological battle lines, because there are individuals out there who want to be the next big pro-Israel voice. Some individuals out there who want to be the next big, oh, I'm just more so on the exclusionist, some might say, side of things, where I only care about America and nothing else, right? So I think the reason we're seeing so much churn in the influencer, podcaster, bro space is because people are starting to see the writings on the wall. So for a lot of people who just hitched their wagons to Trump and Trump alone and never evolved themselves, they're starting to realize, I need to figure out who the next base is I'm going to cater to. There's a slice in here for me. How can I carve it out for myself? So that's why you're seeing there's a bifurcation of sorts. There's individuals who are, oh, I'm just team Candace, ride or die, or I'm team this podcaster, that podcaster, which is honestly kind of foolish when you think about it, because you're never going to agree 100% with anyone. So I'm seeing a lot of weird intra-party partisanship based on certain talking heads or figures. I think it's something that's going to continue. It honestly needs to happen. But it's weird to see the movement be hijacked by, let's be honest, there's a lot of individuals who are megalomaniacs and who have become so addicted to whatever attention they may have gotten in the past. That's all they are concerned about. It's like, let's get the clicks. Let's continue to dangle that hook. I mean, we've got people now who they're literally drip feeding out what's supposed to be the most earth-shattering revelations ever. At this point in time, if you have information, I want it all in a huge data dump where anyone can search it out. I don't need it to be hidden behind some paywall. If it's that important to you, then you shouldn't have to yank people's chains in order to divulge this information in the first place.
And that goes for Dinesh D'Souza, no matter how much you like him, and that goes for Candace Owens too, and others. I always couldn't stand that with the 2,000 Mules or whatever it was. And it's like, we have the most gripping, compelling evidence, first time ever in history, of actual meaningful stolen elections and voter fraud. And we think it's so important that the entire world needs to hear it. So just go to my website and pay $29.99 and you can hear it right now. And I'm like, do I get a free set of steak knives with that? It's a little annoying. Liv, you get to hear and see a lot of this when you're building these videos, and you see the scroll and the black pill that's going on X. Do you think this is people breaking away from MAGA because they understand that Donald Trump's done in 2028, or feel that his presidency is done now? Because there is a lot of negativity. There's a lot of abandoned ship and self-save kiss asses who were only on the ride when they saw that Donald Trump was going to win. And that is Joe Rogan, and that is Tucker Carlson, and that is others who were never pro-Trump, were never MAGA, and then became MAGA when the writing was on the wall, cashed in on it, and then now are jumping ship at the first sign of adversity, which is the midterms, and it happens in every presidency. Your thoughts when you're looking at the doom scroll? What do you think?
I don't think it has anything to do with Donald Trump's presidency is almost half over and the MAGA movement's dying. I think it has that they want to stay relevant and they're going to do the next big thing. And in 2016, Trump was relevant and Trump got money, and the MAGA movement, that was the shtick that everyone wanted to talk about. And that's what made them popular. Mm-hmm. And now it's the hating of the Jews. And that is what is popular. And that is what is getting people clicks. And that's what's keeping them relevant. But it's going to be another thing shortly.
I think it's Damani, and you both have a good point. I think it's for the clicks, but I think it's the oddity in itself is the uniqueness of the conversation. It's not that 2016, it was polar and it was delineated because of left and right. And 2020 was also delineated between the COVIDs and the non-COVIDs, or the woke and the non-woke. This is different. The people who dislike the Jews or Israel or whatever they want to say, they get clicks on both sides. They get the Muslim support and the Arab support, and they also have the people who support the Jews clicking. So they're creating their own controversial situation. It's like Candace Owens going after Erica. Nobody in their right mind would believe that a person of her stature could go after an ailing widow of one of the most popular conservative voices since Charles Krauthammer and survive. But she's doing it because she says... she stands off and creates enough doubt and enough animosity and enough innuendo that just gets both sides firing off and attacking each other, and she just takes in the profit from it. It's it's a little insane when you think about how clever it actually is. We may chastise these people and actually look down on them from our own plateau of greatness or our low area of mediocrity and intellectual inferiority, but it comes down to, no matter how you look at it, there is a marketing genius behind this process, and multiple platforms are taking advantage of it. And I won't, but and I know Damani won't, and I know a lot of people we associate won't, but there's some people who don't have those scruples. So
well, they don't have any loyalty to anyone but themselves, and they are willing to sell themselves to the highest bidder. And that's pretty much what it is. Who's ever willing to pay me the money is who I'm going to make happy right now. She would be a great politician. Because she can lie through her teeth and make it look convincing. And that's...
This is not to dissuade anyone from Israel who is looking to give out 7,000 shekels. Damani and I are both willing to sell our souls for just a few posts. We will be pro-Jew or anti-Jew, depending upon what your flavor of the month is. Qatari or Israeli, we will support either. Just throw us the money.
Isn't it crazy, though, how blatantly obvious it's become? I feel like there was a lot of things behind the scenes that were shrouded in mystery, but now it's very painfully obvious. There was an influencer most recent that I think is Rob Smith, and all of a sudden he's posting all of these gratuitous pictures of himself in Qatar and talking about this and that. I'm like, that's a sponsored post. It's real easy once you develop an eye for it. It's hard to not see it. And almost everywhere. It goes so far as, there's some people who are like, oh, do this, do that. And I'm like looking in the source code of the link they sent me. Oh, is there like user tracking metrics in here or something like that? But it's real easy once you figure out what the game is. And to Liv's point, it really just goes down to political prostitution. And a lot of people are just really good at playing that game, and they will turn those political tricks all day long as the money keeps coming in.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, you'll see it. You'll see, the Krasenstein bros, post something, and then immediately it's just and the memo's out, and you hear that a lot. Oh, someone got the memo, someone got the phone call, but there is truth to it. The algorithm. Damani and I spend a lot of time in the algorithm, and we work on it. We talk about it constantly. We try to work around its ambiguity and its enigma wrapped in a puzzle and a riddle, but we understand it. So it's impossible to make a post and to have 30,000 likes on it in 12 seconds. It doesn't happen. It's impossible. So you understand who's getting bot fed. Candace is bot fed. Absolutely 120% she's bot fed. Nick Fuentes is bot fed. This isn't difficult to see because we have a big enough sample size between us, 1.2 million followers, or something to that effect, or a little bit less than that, 1.1. We can see what happens with our own sample size to know that somebody at 1.5 million isn't doing that much better without assistance or help. So it is what it is. Go ahead, Libby.
It was Charity Lamb. I'm sorry. I didn't realize Damani was going to say something when I posted.
That's all right.
So
Charity Lamb, $25. Thank you, Cherry. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Throw that one in there real quick. We can get it in there. Dave Wagner, my friend from Utah. Thank you, Bubba. Good to have you here. $25 from Mr. Wagner. I appreciate you so very much. Here is some interesting stuff. We got some good videos tonight. Chinese bro insists bomb plot Fort McDill. Maybe not a whole bunch of commenting on this, but something just for the news to process and disseminate. Here it is.
Just breaking moments ago, the FBI indicting a brother and sister in connection with the placement of an explosive device at MacDill Air Force Base in Florida. The FBI says Alan Zhang, who is believed to have planted the device, is currently in China.
The device did not detonate, but minutes after the device was planted, a 911 call reported that a bomb had been placed on the base. When that phone call came in, no location for that bomb was in fact given in that 911 call.
The device was found on the base 6 days later. Thankfully, no one was hurt. FBI Tampa also arresting the suspect's sister, Anne Mary Zhang, who is charged with accessory after the fact and tampering with evidence. No motive was given, but MacDill Air Force Base is the headquarters of U.S. Central Command.
I do have one question.
Yeah, after I make a quick statement, that the problem with being a Chinese bomber is once you do it, you want to go ahead and do it again an hour later.
Old joke.
Yeah,
old joke.
It's not an old joke. It's a Chinese food joke. Once you eat Chinese food, you're hungry again an hour later.
Yes, I know the joke.
Listen, you don't need to be mean. It's my birthday. I'm 52.
It's not your birthday till Sunday.
You're supposed to laugh at... Oh, man. I even forgot to switch the audio. Such a loser. Here we go.
Wank!
It's one of my tamer jokes. Okay, go ahead. What's your comment?
I want to know which one's the brother, which one's the sister. Couldn't tell them apart there. They both look pretty masculine to me. I don't know. I figured the one on the left was the brother, but then you look at him, you're like, I don't Oh, it's a little crazy. But I read a little bit into this story, and their parents came over and they were denied to stay in the country. And
Under
they
what
ended
administration?
up Clinton, I think.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
90s, yeah. They were denied. They didn't leave, and no one ever followed up with them. So they were born here, technically illegally, but they're American citizens because their parents were never supposed to be here in the first place. So
Well, that sounds pretty par for the course for the Clinton and Obama and Biden administration.
Yeah.
Did you hear that Pete Hegseth just made it possible for all military personnel on bases to carry their personal firearms, just like you would in the private sector? You do have to follow state law, but if you are a military member, you're allowed to carry a weapon on base. Now, a lot of people are like, wait a second, you can't carry weapons on a military base? No, unless you're specifically an MP or CID or something to that shore patrol where you actually get to carry a weapon, a master at arms. You can't. So you could literally see a tank division and there's not a gun anywhere to be found. Damani, do you think that these situations are going to continue, or do you think it's because we're paying attention to what's going on in Iran, what's going on in China, feeling the heightened tension? Because these things happen all the time, right? There's these attacks, there's the shootings, and now to identify them, you hear a person said Allah Akbar, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's Iran, and Iran's attacking us. These are sleeper cells. Or is this more of the same? What are your thoughts on this kind of this heightened sense? And I'm sorry I called you Leroy. You don't look like Leroy.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, we're going to keep seeing this. That's the unfortunate reality of the situation the country's in. I would argue for the better part of probably the next 2 generations, there's going to be probably a marked uptick for individuals who pay attention, of individuals that are profoundly hostile towards America and her values because of what the Biden administration allowed to take place. These are not things where you open the door and then close it. You can't put the toothpaste back in the toothpaste tube.
Right.
So we're gonna, and the thing is, these were older individuals. These 2 would be assailants. So just imagine not only that, but also the deliberate indoctrination that we're seeing take place of the youth through our schools. I would argue there's never been more of a targeted, focused, deliberate, intentional, all-out assault on all things Americana than there have been even in the past decade. And the evidence of that, the rotten fruit that's going to be born of those seeds, is truly going to be a force with which to be reckoned down the road. And, that's why I am so grateful that I know there's good people like you and Liv who are raising the next generation. We need a lot more people to do that. I'm trying to do my best to do my part as well. And I know how difficult it is already. I just have a 2-year-old. So I can't even imagine how much difficult it's going to be in the future. But the only way to fight fire will be with similar ideological fire. And you have to have the right flamethrowers fully equipped to go fight that battle for you when the time is right, because that day is coming, and they can't shy away from a fight that we know is going to be coming for them. Unfortunately, the best we can do is prepare them for that fight and make sure they're fully ready to rock and roll.
Dude, I've been teaching mine how to drive.
Oh gosh. Whew. I can't even imagine. I don't see too many grays in your hair, though, so you're doing something.
It's only been a week.
Well, first of all, no, he doesn't see too many grays in my hair. Thank you, Damani, for saying that.
You're so welcome. Don't blush too much, all right?
It's because I dye it. So, no, I don't touch the hair. I don't touch the beard. I touch once every 3 months. I run it through a dye. And then, hi, buddy. Welcome. Damani's on. You want to say hi to Damani real quick? Come on. Hi, here. Well, he can't hear you until you come to the mic. Go ahead.
Hi,
Damani.
Okay.
What's up, buddy? Hi. You're getting big.
Oh my gosh, she's only like an inch shorter than me, and his voice has dropped like
he's shaving.
That's so crazy.
My daughter is getting baptized on Sunday, and she's wanted to do it herself. So she wrote her testimony today, and oh my gosh, we're gonna record it. It's fantastic. Of course, I'm like, can I stream it? Can I make profit off this? Just kidding. so we're gonna record it, and of course we'll share it. It's gonna be beautiful. We're really excited about it. But dude, it's too fast. When people say that, it's so cliche. You're like, shut up. They're like, oh, it goes by so fast. 2 years, that's not fast. 5, you're gonna be like, oh, it's not fast. 13, you're like, it just goes into hyper overdrive, and I can't believe she's almost 16 years old. It's insane.
I know, 16 in less than 2 months.
So
crazy.
2 of my favorite planes of all time, the F-15 Strike Eagle. Kat Alkire, $5.20. Frozen yogurt on me tonight. Thank you, Kat. We love you and appreciate you. Thank you so much. F-15 Strike Eagle, one of my favorites, and the A-10 Warthog is also one of my favorite planes. As far as an attack and fighter, A-10 is number one. F-15 I loved from a dogfighting capability, but I was also a big fan of F-14s. But I don't like our planes being shot down. And the A-10 going down is an expectation. It's not a maneuverable plane. Its countermeasures are extensive, but unfortunately it is older. It doesn't have the speed. It doesn't have the velocity. It doesn't have the build. In fact, it's designed to kind of take a missile, not necessarily dodge missiles. So we just got word that an A-10 went down too. I can't go into a whole bunch of detail. I just know that an A-10 did go down. As far as the pilot, I can't tell you what happened, but I can talk about this F-15. An F-15 was shot down. Here is the clip. We've got a couple of these just to kind of walk through it. And that's what we do on here, is a lot of military stuff. So we're going to talk about this. Here it is.
With well-placed sources that one of the crew members of the F-16E warplane that went down over Iran has been rescued and is safe at this moment in time. We have been reluctant to report until now about this rescued crew member of the F-15 because of the sensitivity of the search and rescue operation, but we can report that one has been rescued and is getting medical attention as we speak. We don't know if it was a male or a female pilot. As we've reported in the past, there are both men and women flying these F-15Es, but that is the latest and very good news, of course, that at least one of the 2 crew members did survive. Kaylee?
And Jennifer, quickly, we just have a few moments here. Our thoughts immediately go to that second pilot. I imagine the search, the rescue, it is ongoing. Any news on the second pilot?
There is no news at this point in time, but as you can imagine, we've seen the images of the Pavehawk helicopters. Those are the Special Forces helicopters that are part of that search and rescue mission. They were being air refueled over in daylight over the contested area. We've seen the image of the pilot's seat and the parachute that was part of the ejection mechanism. It looks like that worked, and that is very good news. But the Iranians have put out a reward for that second American, or for both Americans, and so it is a very, very tenuous time right now, but those crew members and pilots would have been given SEER training, survival and evasion training, and we are now thinking of them, thinking of their families, and hoping that as the sun goes down now over Iran, that it will be easier for the search and rescue operation to continue and to find that second crew member.
All right, so listen, I'll dive into this, and I want to get overall tonality and thought process on the conflict. You know, President Trump made some claims that, you know, all integrated air defense systems in Iran were destroyed. And you guys remember I covered this. This is bullshit. And 100% I told you there's no way. Iran is 1/3 the size of the United States. It is an incredibly large, vast area. Their weapon systems, they've been stockpiling for 47 years. They had Russian and Chinese-made gear. Most of their integrated air defense systems along the Straits of Hormuz were upgraded. Their Intel chipsets were upgraded to a Tier 2 system, which allowed them to target our Gen 4 aircraft and not our Gen 5 or Gen 6, supposedly Gen 6, which isn't even real yet, Gen 5 aircraft. So the F-15E has been upgraded. Its targeting system, its over electronic countermeasures and other countermeasure systems have been upgraded, but it's not invulnerable. And a lot of these older systems, predominantly Russian and Chinese made systems, are extremely effective, and SAM missiles are the David sling to their Goliath, and this is just going to happen. So when Donald Trump said they got all they could have air superiority, they can have air superiority, but you're going to have incremental systems that survived. And so you're going to have this. This is the difference between a general doing a briefing and President Trump. But I will tell you this. in my opinion, there were 4 different aircraft that were shot down today or injured in flight or damaged in flight. And so there were 2 Black Hawks, which you can bring a Black Hawk down with a rock and some very firm language. Black Hawks are the easiest damn thing to take out of the sky because they're a helo and they're not designed to take any type of AA or anti-air battery. Then the F-15 and the A-10. There's rumors that the A-10 was a mechanical failure. That's not my understanding. They were all hit in the same area. 2 were in rescue operations. They were shot at, which is going to happen because this is what you do. You shoot down a plane, then they go and rescue the plane, and those people stay there, and then they use RPGs, they use surface-to-air missiles, things to that effect to take these things down. But in my opinion, Iran has resupplied or refitted very, very quickly because it's all in the same strategic area. So I believe this is purposeful. I believe this is not going to be the norm, but you have a situation for multiple redundancies that took place. F-15 was struck down. Search and rescue operations take place. A-10 goes in to run security and task on water and land to have superiority to get those hunter-killers to protect any search and rescue vehicles or Blackhawks, and multiple get shot down because they were brought into the kill zone. I think this is purposeful. This is Afghanistan-type tactics, Taliban-type tactics, and the IRGC and the Iranian Guard are very, very good at this type of thing, and they have moved to this asymmetric warfare of shooting somebody, and then when everyone goes in to help that person, they shoot those people too. That's very similar to what this looks like to me. Should we get our skirts blown up in the wind over this? Well, yeah, anytime American aircraft go down, that's serious. Is this what happens in war and conflict? Yes. And should we expect more of it? Yes, you should. Overall thoughts on this, Olivia? How are you feeling about this? It's now been, almost a month. Are you still feeling resolved? Are you still feeling like the United States is doing the right thing, or are you having doubts?
No, I'm not having any doubts. And I mean, the fact that, it sucks when any American serviceman or woman dies, but it is war and it is going to happen. It's inevitable. There's nothing we can do to stop it. And the fact that this is the first plane that's gone down, it's been over a month and this is the first one. And how people are freaking out over it and saying all this stuff, it's ridiculous. Those people need to, I would like to see videos of them having this much freak out over Biden's exit from Afghanistan.
Yeah,
they showed no remorse, no anything towards those 13 soldiers that died. So they can all just shut their pie holes. I think it's ridiculous. I still think we're doing the same thing because Iran was going to get a nuke. And I want my children and their children to grow up in a safe world. I don't want them to fear being nuked by a country that hates us and their entire reason for being is to kill all Americans and destroy America. That needs to go. That ideology needs to go. That regime needs to go. And now that Iran is falling, hopefully people will fall with it and that ideology will leave. Hopefully. Now, the only thing I want is gas prices to go back down again.
Well,
but that was to be expected. I am bracing myself for that because every time I go by the pump on the way to work, it's up more. So, we're paying $60 more this month for gas than we did last month.
Don't worry. Gas prices are because of Putin in Ukraine. That's why. Ask the Democrats. They'll tell you that. It has nothing to do with Iran. Exactly. Quickly, the A-10, just so people understand, the A-10 to shoot down is incredibly difficult. People are saying, well, what about an EC-130? An EC-130's countermeasures are completely different than an A-10. The amount of solar flares, amount of chaff that they have, they also have countermeasures from a maneuverability standpoint where an EC-130 can actually do more than an A-10. I can't go into specifics, but there are several things that the EC-130 has where surface-to-air missiles, although vulnerable, very much like our C-17 Starlifters or C-5 Galaxies, these are larger cargo-type vessels. They don't get hit by surface-to-air missiles. Number one, most people don't care about an EC or a C-17 because it's not a fighter or an attack vehicle. But the EC-130 is very unique, is that it has a lot of offensive weapons, and it is a killer for ground troops at high altitude. It's got massive cannons. It's got multiple long-range guns, 120 millimeter cannon on the top of it. They can basically blow holes in the ground the size of a Volkswagen. People are saying, well, how come that's in the air? Once again, it's countermeasures. The A-10 is independent because of its rear wing system. You can blow off and put a hole in the size of the wing, the size of a frickin' trash can, and it will still fly. The reason why is that its thrusters are very unique. Its intake are extended. They're not on the wing. So therefore, any type of hydraulics or gas lines or anything are not embedded into the wing. The wing is only for stabilization. So you could blow out a whole section of its stabilizers, and its rear fin is independent. Well, actually, where the turbine outtake comes out, they will move up and down and control the flight of the plane. So you would have to lose 4 points of stabilization for its over pitch and yaw in order to take down an A-10 usually. That's why it's very difficult. Go ahead.
Isn't the A-10 the one that can actually take off like a helicopter?
No, sir.
Warthog?
No,
Which one am I thinking of?
You're thinking of the VTOL. It's a vertical takeoff. It's an Osprey.
You didn't watch our music video, did you?
That's right.
What?
Yeah. He didn't watch our music video, did he?
What music video?
The A-10
Oh,
music
that's
video.
such a good one. No. A-10 is it doesn't matter. I'm going off on this. I apologize, but this is kind of my area. The point is, Damani, I haven't heard your take on this. I know you're not necessarily, pro-war or like neocon, let's go and take over the world. But I want to get your opinion on this. How are you feeling about this?
I'm just like, do what needs to get done. The most frustrating thing to me is, I don't even really like using the phrase, but sometimes it applies, panicking. There's a lot of people who are terminally online who sees on any semblance of negative news, and they use that as a reason to be, black-pilled, woe is me. Like, how many times do we have to do this before we realize there are some things that the average person, there's things that Matt, that I will never even be able to wrap my mind around. And I have to be okay with that and not freak out every time I see a bird take flight next to me. Oh, is it a drone? Is there a missile up in the sky? If I'm going to live my life that way, then my mind has already been conquered. My body is the only thing that's left to follow. So I'm of the mindset of do what needs to get done. Do I want there to be extremely high gas prices forever? No, no one does. Do I also realize that there's a whole lot of saber rattling that's been taking place for a very long time, the majority of my life? Yes. Am I cognizant enough of the fact that Trump has been remarkably consistent about his position on Iran over the years, going back as far as the 80s? Yes. Are there some things that I know that he's privy to, facts that he's privy to that I'm not privy to? Yes. Does that give me peace of mind at night? Yes. And given the opportunity, would I prefer to have Trump and Pete Hegseth and many others heading this up instead of Joe Biden or Mark Milley or Lloyd Austin, those figures? Yes. So I don't really talk too much about, international affairs, because I believe we have more than enough to keep ourselves busy right here at home. But if there is a regime that is hostile towards America, then they need to be dealt with summarily. I remember when we lived over in Greece, my dad was on a NATO mission when anti-American sentiment was peaking in certain parts of the world. There were individuals who did not want to see us there. And I understood that from a young age. And I used to not understand why. I understand a little bit more now. I hesitate to speak very specifically about this conflict because there's so much that I don't understand, and it's okay to not understand, but you cannot let that lack of understanding turn you into someone who just panics over everything and feels like, the minute that that I hear something that I don't like, this is the end of days. That's no way to live.
I didn't know you were Greek. I never would have guessed. So do you remember Greece at all? Isaac Castillo donated $25. Somebody tell Damani I got 5 on it, and then another 20. Happy birthday, Matt. Thank you, Isaac. So how old were you when you were in Greece?
I was 10 years old on through 12. So we were there. We moved there in 2001. We moved back in 2003. Yep.
Oh my God. So that had to be amazing for you.
Well, it was right after, pretty shortly after 9/11. So, of course, everyone was on higher alert.
Yes.
But I remember going to the little base that was in Larissa or Galini. I forget which town it was in, but the MWR center over there. I have some fond memories of that, at least. So,
your father was he Air Force?
He was Air Force. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm an Air Force brat. My mom and my dad were.
Okay, I'm learning. Yeah, just you say MWR, and you mentioned the base. I figured Air Force. Good enough.
No.
So you had asked a question. What is the A-10? This is the A-10 Warthog, and she is.
I knew what it looked like, but I forgot which one was the one that could take off and land bird. I used to be a huge airplane nerd back in the day.
So there's multiple that can take off. The F-35 is one of them. That's the newest one. But this is the one that I mentioned, which is the Osprey, which would be familiar to you. It's Marine Corps. That has vertical takeoff capability. Also, several other branches use it. But it might be, you might be aging yourself. I doubt it. The AV-8B Harrier, which is in multiple.
That was it.
Okay, so the AV-8B.
I used to have a model plane of the Harrier. I just couldn't remember the name of it.
It's okay. It's all right. So that's totally cool. There's a couple of others, but those are the predominant three that would strike your fancy. Like I said, aging yourself. The AV-8B is she's an old school one. She's used by the Royal Marines in England, Royal Air Force, Marine Corps uses it. There's a few old Army can no longer have an Air Corps. They actually use helos, and this is why the Army doesn't have aircraft anymore. When the Army Air Corps separated and became the Air Force, so a lot of history there. But the AV-8B is a flying death machine. The ones that are out now are incredibly stable. The F-35 is amazing. Here's a video of what to expect next, because people are going to ask me, what happens now? What do you do with these pilots? Does this escalate? Do we start nuking Tehran if we don't get this pilot back? Let me tell you what I think. You had one pilot go down, which means that secondary ejection seat in the F-15 Strike Eagle E is you have multiple ejection points. It's not a singular aircraft like the F-16. So one pilot out, where's the other pilot? Well, a lot of people think that when you punch from a plane that, two parachutes go up and you're both in the same area. That's not the way it works. It depends on the rotation of the cockpit, where the plane is in its stall, in its glide path, what prevailing winds do, the distance and time between punch outs. And you could land miles away from somebody because your control of an ejection seat is zero until you pop from that seat and drag chute pulls you out of it. So there's several things that you have to do. Some ejection systems have the seat attached to a parachute. Some are separate, attached to the pilot themselves. There's multiple ways to eject. But in an F-15 specifically, I usually stay with the seat. There's two things that I look at. The Iranians put out a bounty on the American's head that leads me to believe they have him. And that's distraction. You would allow your military to round him up, state police to round up that pilot, civilians to turn him in before you would put out massive bounty. The only reason you would do it is to kind of deflect. I can't imagine that this guy is kicking into SEER training. Now, he's been through SEER training, so he knows how to survive. He knows how to flee from the enemy, evade, capture, all this other stuff. But you had multiple vehicles in a desert landscape looking for him 15 minutes after his crash. Usually at that point, a helo is going to pick him up. An EC-130 is going to sight him. You're going to have some form of pickup and extract like you did with the other pilot or the A-10 pilot. He is either in a position where he's incapacitated and cannot signal, which is difficult for me to believe and fathom, considering we have ISR up in the sky watching for him. We would have picked him up, or that somebody grabbed him. And that's probably what happened in this case, is that he was captured, is my gut feeling. Here is what can happen next. I will tell you this. There are multiple operators in that area. There are special forces, not just Marines, not just Army, but there are special forces groups that are in country right now at a moment's notice ready to be deployed. And some of these operators will be used if they have any type of understanding of where he is being held. Watch this.
Right. David, I do believe it's been about 15 hours since this aircraft was downed. Knowing that, and we're in the midst of this survival mission, what does that tell you? Do you take that as a sign of encouragement or discouragement that we're 15 hours into this, and to the extent that we know right now, he still is somewhere out there in Iran?
I think it's encouraging because, first of all, if you engage combat search and rescue, I guarantee you don't live to tell the story. These are Tier 1 operators. You know, we goof around in Garrison about the difference between the combat arms branches, Air Force, everything else. Tier 1 is Tier 1. These are the best of the best. They're going to have air support, orbital support. They're going to have ground support. We talked about the Marines and the 82nd Airborne that are positioned. Well, there's a lot of other special forces that are out there as well that we don't really talk about. Those will all be activated. If there is any plan to cordon an area where they think this is where they last saw the pilot, they're going to send every single operator in that area. We heard about how they were engaged when they got the other pilot, the other individual in that F-15. They're going to shoot back and they're going to shoot to kill. And if we're still looking, that's a good sign, because that means that that we have an idea of the vicinity of where these guys are. Look, this is a simple mission to isolate where this plane went down. It's also very complicated because of the terrain and the enemy disposition. But I mean, I'm watching all of the people out there that are trying to send the message that this is somehow chaos and that we're losing control of the fight and all this nonsense. I mean, nothing could be further from the truth. 30,000 sorties. Do you know how many planes got hit and didn't crash? I mean, this is an incredible...
Iran is scrambling his communications so he can't speak the truth, folks. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine.
Display of military power, the best of the best right now in the world. And we had a bad day, but we're going to fix that problem, and we're going to fight.
It's not a bad day. It's shit happens in the big city. And unfortunately, the enemy gets a say in this, folks. I don't know if you guys just expected them to roll over, but the enemy is also in the fight. And this is something that we hear in hockey all the time, is Jared Bednar is renowned for saying. He's like, well, that other team just beat you guys 8-6. What do you think about that? He's like, the other team has some input on how the game comes out. And they're always going to have their opinion. And they're going to try to execute what they're trying to do, and we're going to try to stop them. But they have a say in what the score is going to be. So I just want us to put this into perspective. Yes, losing an F-15, an A-10, and 2 Blackhawks is bad. Angela Hills, $25. Thank God it's Friday, in it to win it. We're not doing jacket tonight's birthday donations, but I love you, and thank you so much for doing that. But it is what it is. I think I'm going to move on from this. I think we've covered this enough, and this is more for everybody else. But here is a video that CNN is, there's 3 of them, that they really hate to admit that Donald Trump has done anything right. I'm going to go through these, and then you guys can go ahead and comment on them in a combined effort. Here is the first one.
That it is the busiest travel day on record here at ATL, but it is. Today is expected to surpass the previous single-day record of 111,000. That was back in May of 2024. Today, they're expecting 115,000 screenings. But the airport now better equipped to handle the crowds than it has been. TSA agents went unpaid for more than a month, and around 40% of them called out of work as a result. Now, following an executive order, they've been paid, and many of them have returned. The TSA also still here, getting help from ICE agents. We've seen them working the security lines this morning.
Gosh, they hate.
Go figure.
Gosh, they hate it. Hold on, we're almost done with these. CNN tries to nuke the job reports that came out, which was 3 times bigger than expected.
Report mark life in March was unemployed down. Do a bit of interest. This report is on space that ran in early and mid much long $4 and $110. This is a snapshot of the kind of look at early ages or that may ultimately hurt the job. Keeping in mind through C number 180,000 jobs at March is basically ripple sense for since this is the most optimistic economist that number survey is the highest number any month late before. Second from February was significantly low for a flaw of 130,000 jobs. You can see that bump right this line like zero. You can see some there's significant job loss. Some there's big job gains. Our Wall Street Steph Bosch told me that number economy close up and that it was a high mark. In reality, she said neither was true. Our economist, Joe Bruss, is that we didn't take much face value. He said statistical changes the allow made overstate the image. That's what a full take at the average. So let's do it. When you get the monthly average job gains in the economy, what's your terrible job growth?
All right, so people are flipping out over the audio. Essentially, what it is CNN doing what CNN always does, is saying, listen, let's not get too excited when it's good, but let's go ahead and really focus on it when it's bad. One last video on this is CNN mentioning that the polls are bad and they're shocked. Here's why. You just saw two videos where the mainstream media is telling you, don't look over here, look over here. These numbers aren't possibly what it means. It can't be a good trend because there's been bad trends in the past. But if you watch this, their numbers are absolutely in the tank. And it's interesting to wonder why, because there's a focus here. Is that even though their numbers are in the tank, the truth of the matter is 19 seats have been up for grabs since Donald Trump took office in 2024, and the Republicans have lost every single one of them. And that is concerning, and it should be concerning. But there's only one thing more that people hate besides Donald Trump, according to the polls. It's Democrats. Watch this.
Approval among Democrats of their leaders.
Yeah, okay. So, you speak about Democrat on Democrat crime, and I want to know how unusual what we're seeing right now about how Democrats feel about Democrats in Congress is. Take a look at this. This is a trend line going back through the years, midterm elections in which there's a GOP president. Look at this. In 2006, Dems' net approval of congressional Democratic leaders was plus 28. You go back to the last midterm, look at that, plus 19. Very much on the positive side. The bottom has fallen out. The bottom has fallen out. Minus 4 points. That is Democrats' own net approval of their own congressional leaders. Even Democrats don't like their own leaders when it comes to Congress. And overall, of course, the numbers are just absolutely awful. So Democrat on Democrat crime, absolutely. This, to me, screams, again, primary challenges across the map. And it screams to me, hey, when it comes to those next leadership elections, maybe something might be cooking.
I just got a communication that I want to share with you real quick before we talk about this. I'm going to open up Damani, and too many videos and not enough talking of Damani and Olivia. But it's my understanding that reportedly that the F-15, the second F-15 pilot may have been in radio communication about 5 hours ago with command. So people said, shouldn't we chip these pilots, which put in a sensor of some sort into their skin? No, but they do have IFF transponders inside, which is identify friendly foe on their aircraft. But they also have transponders that are on devices. I'm not going to go into specifics on where they are, but pilots do wear them, which allow them to be geolocated or to have two-way communication. At this point, I understand that the second pilot has been in communication and has evaded capture. Whether this is confirmed or not, I cannot give you that. But what I can tell you is that these are initial reports that are coming out as a positive sign that as up to 5 hours ago, they did have communication. But possibly hearing other things that he was rescued, I cannot confirm that. I don't know if that's true or not. But I can confirm that the communication was done between the second pilot and command at some point, which means that special forces and other rescue operations are trying to pinpoint his exact location. Damani, your thoughts on the Democrat polling, the thoughts on them constantly changing the narrative, never being able to say anything positive about Donald Trump. I'll let you go ahead and address that.
Well, I think that it's ultimately going to come down to what the topic du jour will be in September and October because of the concept of recency and because of the remarkably short attention spans of the average typically initiated voter on the opposition side in an election year where it is an off year or a midterm. I do think, though, that it is worth mentioning that the average leftist is led by the nose now more than ever. They, a year ago, were up in arms about the cost of eggs, the price of eggs.
Yeah.
Many people don't know this. I actually posted about this earlier today on my own page, but
You did.
price of eggs has decreased by, I believe it was 57.6% compared to this point in time last year on average across the country for a dozen grade A eggs. So while that might seem like just a small trivial data point, that was something that used to be the core of everything. As soon as Trump was sworn in, oh, the egg prices are so high. Well, yeah, no, I mean, never mind. I could have gotten a lot crazier with that. But yeah, of course they are, right? Things aren't going to happen overnight, but now we're in a point where that's no longer the case. Now, what is it? Oh, the gas is too expensive, all right? It's never enough. And what's crazy too is I made another post earlier on my page today talking about the gas prices and how even the media is covering them. You know, so the average person will be up in arms. Gas is so expensive. I hate Trump so much for this because, you know, I'm team vote blue no matter who. 4 years ago, the mainstream media, CBS specifically, was hoping for gas lowering to close to $4 a gallon. How quickly we forget. The midterms, they will be postured as they usually are, as a referendum on Trump. They'll be postured as this is the last chance that we have to impeach Trump. And who knows if that turnout is going to materialize for the left or on the right side of the aisle at this point. What I can tell you, though, is that your average leftist is so discombobulated. They can't seem to pick a topic and stick with it. Right. Because anything that rises up, even with the TSA and airports, okay, we'll find a solution. So my hope is that individuals will be able to remember that when it's time to vote in November. But ultimately, it's going to come down to an emotional play. The left is really going to, if I could tell the future, my gut tells me that their best shot will be more chaos on the immigration front.
Yeah.
That's one of my best bets because that's the one galvanizing topic that many leftists actually can't agree and stay focused on. I mean, I can't even remember the young boy's name. The 5-year-old boy who was Conejo, I believe was his name. And they were like, oh, ICE kidnapped him. But that was the one topic that everyone galvanized themselves around.
Yep.
I do believe that the Democrat Party is in a state of panic right now. They are experiencing a little bit of a changing of the guard themselves, which portends well for the future if we on the right side of the aisle can get out of our own way in many cases and stop allowing ourselves to be led by the nose, by the Candace Owenses or the Nick Fuentes or even the Alex Joneses of the world. It's time to become individuals again. And the sooner we come to that realization and act like it, the better chance we'll have of at least keeping a razor-thin majority in 2020, in November, I should say. Yeah. So those are my thoughts.
Good thoughts. Livy, you had some thoughts right after we do this. $100 by Debbie Hensley, 348. Hafidi birthday. Debbie, you got to stop talking about my feet. I'm 52 years old. They can't possibly look good anymore. Like, there's nothing sexy about my feet. My balls and my feet are respectively exactly the same. They're wrinkled and they're old, and there's nothing we can do about it, okay? So stop obsessing over I have other features that are much better than my feet, okay? Seriously, Damani, this is what happens when you get a little growth. You just start getting people with feet fetishes, foot fetishes. Liv, your thoughts on this real quick?
I think that mainstream media and a lot of leftist politicians are going to lose their identity in 3 years or 2 years.
Yeah.
They have been, they've lost all their identity for the last 10 years has been orange man bad. Yeah. And anything, whatever Trump says, it's the opposite. Anything positive that Trump does, they try to put on the negative and try to make it sound as bad as possible, just like the jobs market thing. Anything bad he does, it's freaking like, whoa, he made a mistake,
Right.
Yay, we just made our day. And they are, after the midterms, the next election, Trump's not going to be here. What are they going to run on? What are they going to do? What are they going to focus on?
It's just rinse and repeat.
There's going to have to be a changing of the guard because they have completely, they're not going to know what to do.
It's funny if they run Newsom, they're not going to be able to do alcoholic. They're not going to be able to do person with drug habits. They're not going to be able to go in and look at his overall failures as governor of California, because it's going to expose Newsom. I mean, this is the thing. I have a feeling that Newsom is going to be put forward so he can be the fall guy to propel Kamala Harris.
Try that again.
The globalists want Kamala Harris. And she wasn't accidentally put into place. You remember, Biden had a better chance of winning against Trump than Kamala Harris, if that tells you anything. Mm-hmm. And this is not the first time they've shoved her down her throat. And let's be honest, the Democrats, the people who vote Democrat, you're not going to be able to choose anyway. You haven't decided who the presidential candidate's going to be for the last 3 primaries. You think they're going to let you choose now? Whoever it is, it's going to be interesting. But good points. Olivia, good point. Damani, great point. Dean Withers, are you familiar with, have you seen, donation, Thomas Austin, $21.10. Thank you, Thomas. For the safety of the missing pilot, the righteous cry out and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. Psalm 34:17. Thank you. Listen, my understanding is the pilot has not been rescued. There's multiple reports, but people, I believe, are trying to get clickbait. The information that I'm getting directly is from 2 people in the United States Air Force, and then a friend of mine who works intelligence in the United States Navy. So the only thing I have heard is that there was communications with a pilot. That is all the thing I can confirm. I'm not going to sit here and say anything else. And as far as rescue attempts and all that, we will know when the president comes out, because as of right now, there is a Marine Corps guard standing outside the door of the Oval Office, which means that the president is in pocket. So Donald Trump is working right now. He has put a lid on this thing at 3:00. And he is focusing on nothing except getting this pilot back. That's what our president does. So he's in the Oval Office. He's working right now because there is a Marine guard at post. Okay? Little things you should know about our president.
He actually works.
Yeah. Well, it's
figure.
not bingo night and tapioca night at Matlock.
He doesn't take a nap at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Well, yeah. No, not from what I've heard. Damani, do you know Dean Withers? Have you heard of this guy?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, I would love to see you and Dean have a conversation. I really would. Like, that's the one that because I want you to watch Dean in this. First of all, he gets cooked, but watch Dean when he doesn't have identity politics to play, because he's very much about being ashamed of his white guilt and then projecting his white guilt onto other white people. But I've never seen him debate a person of color before, ever. And now I've seen it, and man, the uncomfortability from Mr. Withers, we have found his kryptonite. Watch this. It's so good. Shit. It's what his thoughts are. Why?
As my understanding,
Do you see how uncomfortable all the liberals are? They're just like, have you not got the memo? You're not allowed to think like this. This is not prescribed. I don't understand why people are saying no audio and it's breaking up. What do you mean?
Maybe it's just this video?
No, it's just twice now.
Completely silent.
Can you not hear it, D?
I can't hear anything. I'm just reading the caption.
Oh.
Wait a second. The sound is 5x5. We can hear it and it's showing output. Hold on. This new Instagram thing might be killing us. Hold on. You haven't heard the last 2 videos?
I didn't hear the one about the jobs.
Okay, hold on a second.
More patriotic than Republicans.
Can everyone hear that?
There it goes.
Hello. Nice to meet
Okay.
you. Okay. So
From now
really
on,
bold,
if you guys
clear
can't hear it, you got to tell me, okay? There's something going on. I think it's because of the Instagram video. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close that video and I'm going to play this one. There's an issue. All right, here we go.
Democrats are more patriotic than Republicans.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Okay, so really bold, clear statement that Democrats are very patriotic. Let's talk about the actions of the Democrats being very glorious in loving our country.
Well, I would like to clarify.
Yeah,
My
clarify,
claim is
please.
not that Democrats are very patriotic. It is that they are more patriotic than Republicans, but I apologize for interrupting you.
Okay, no, but I would like clarity on what are those actions, because in my understanding of Democrats being really patriotic is destroying the nuclear family, burning down flags, burning down buildings. I mean, we see just destruction
All right, good. I'm glad it's working now. Thanks, everybody. Just let me know.
in our cities. Did you see the trash and all the homelessness going out in LA? What is patriotic about supporting all of that? What is patriotic about supporting all the drugs that are coming in, all the things that we're allowing, the human trafficking, allowing all these things and policies going on? Like, what is patriotic about that? What screams "I love America" of people?
You said that Democrats support, right?
No, I'm just asking, like, what are the patriotic acts that show? Because what patriotism means to me is kneeling for those who have sacrificed for our country. My father has served 30 years in the military, right? That is 30 years that he is not getting back, that he has fought for his country, laid down his life for. What is patriotic that the Democrats are doing, that are saying, hey, I'm going to lay my life down and not be egotistic and individualistic, and I'm going to serve and look out for others, look out for the next generation? What is that? So that's what I'm asking, to make that statement clear. What does that look like at the Democratic Party?
I actually think that's a great question. And the answer to your question would be a fight to protect and preserve the state of our democracy. I think that you listed off a whole cohort of claims there that were typically...
Mike Lynch donated $35. Mike, I'm so very sorry. I read your message, but we couldn't put that long of a message in the donation box. Thank you for your donation.
Engaged in by Democrats that have been anti-patriotic, such as burning the flag, such as burning down buildings in the riots. And I agree with you, right? I think that those are clear displays of anti-patriotic behaviors. Do I necessarily disagree with them all the time? No, I don't think that it's wrong to burn the American flag if it's in protest of actions of the American government. But my claim here is that there's nothing less patriotic than supporting Donald Trump, a man that has already tried to destroy our country internally by attempting to overthrow the results of the 2020.
Okay, I completely understand that statement. I don't agree with that, but we're not talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about your statement that Democrats are patriotic. So I'm asking about the actions are what, because we can keep tying in Kamala and Donald into this, but they are not the reason of being a conservative or a Democrat. It's the morals, it's the values, and the actions that you are reflecting.
Of course,
that you're
I understand you. And the morals and the values and the actions reflected.
The morals, as a Democrat, as a liberal, what are you reflecting that's benefiting your country?
Of course, great question.
These socialism policies, these individualistic policies, these I want to consume these egotistic policies, these you should worship in closed doors and proximities, don't open the Bible in school, don't say the Pledge of Allegiance. All these things that we see. No, yes, just let me clarify. We'll finish real quick. So all these things that we see, we're being forced as conservatives to shut that down, to be quiet, to be banned. So how are we talking about free speech, freedom of religion, loving, and all this stuff? These are all things that you guys are proclaiming, but
so do you agree with freedom of religion?
Of course.
So then you wouldn't agree with Trump's attempted Muslim ban?
Again, we're not talking about Trump. I'm asking for policies talking about how our Democrats really
Let's go over them. So first, I think that fighting for the freedoms of all 170 million American women by reinstituting federal protections for access to health care, that's going to be caring about the US
abortion.
citizens. I think that yes. I think that fighting
just want to make that clear. I'm sorry.
I love her.
It just gets worse from there. I mean,
that's awesome.
It's brutal.
Great.
Yeah, your overall donation just came through, Mrs. $10. Thank you, Mrs. We appreciate it. Damani,
she missed that chance. That was a layup. I mean, and it's so easy to armchair quarterback when you're in these interactions. I think that's a Jubilee video. I've been on one Jubilee video back in 2019, and just staying on top of everything in itself is a Herculean effort. But what I'll say is that the statement that he made about the Muslim ban, that's one, if I'd been there, I would have jumped all over that, because we know that the only reason that list of countries existed was because those countries were earmarked by the Obama administration to begin with. So it's real easy to poke holes, though, from the side. So I'll give her some grace. The entirety of her message was spot on, though. And I did see him appear to be rattled, because when you are forced to defend the indefensible, you even realize the absurdity of it. And I think when you are in those environments, and let's say this, I'll be conciliatory and I'll say props to him for being willing to put himself in that situation, because it is not easy to defend your beliefs when you are literally surrounded by people who disagree with you. So do that at all requires some degree of chutzpah, so I'll give him that. But at the end of the day, when this is kind of ties back to my original point that I was made at the very beginning, was when you're able to interact with someone one-on-one, that's when you figure out what they really believe, what they really think. When you force that individualism to return, because so much of what the left and even some factions of the right are all about is that collectivism. When you strip all that away, who are you? Can you defend who you are? Can you defend why you do, why you believe what you believe? And if so, then more power to you. But more often than not, that's not going to be the case.
Do you think when you did so I didn't know you did Jubilee. Now I got to go and watch that episode.
Hi, muffin.
What's
you got my rings? Thank you.
Listen, sweetie pie. Don't do this in front of the listeners. Oh,
did you interrupt, Mr. Matt? Did you?
You can. Let me see her. Let me see her. Bring out the kid. Hi. Bring out the kid. Hello.
Say hi.
Hi, sweetie.
Say hi.
Can you say?
Can
hello?
you say hi? Oh, she can't even hear you. Sorry, I'm on my my headphones. Hang on. Let's see. Can you hear now?
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Hi.
Hello, Hayden.
Can you say hi?
Come here. Yes, my daughter wants to say hello.
Hi?
Get in here, quick.
Okay, she wants to act like she's all shy. You want to act like you're all shy? Hey, can you say hi? Say hi. I just got my hair.
She's closing her
Just got
hair.
my hair done.
She's adorable, dude. You need to get the hell out here fast. Hayden is like, I want one. Like,
I know. Trust me.
No.
I know. We're gonna get out there soon.
Church, because we did like a Psalm Sunday thing, and they like brought little leaves out, and they were singing along to a song, and I started crying because they were so cute.
At Palm Sunday at church, and all the kids were participating. That's awesome.
That's so cute.
Give me a pound.
No, we will. Our plan is to get out there before the end of the year. Hopefully, when the fall colors start popping, that's the plan.
That's the time to do it. Just real quick, because we know. Listen, you got to get out of here. You're dad, and you got stuff to do. We're almost out of here. Deirdre Daly donated $25. Happy Friday. Happy birthday, Matt. Thank you, Deirdre. You know, I think I would want to go on Jubilee if the topics were not a smorgasbord of multiple choice, right? So it's like, you know, but if you could bring up a topic and say, listen, we're going to have it, I would love to do that. I would absolutely love to do it. But did you find yourself on the show asking more questions? Because you and I have had dialogue on and off the air. And usually the one thing I've learned about you is that you're inquisitive. And you don't really do the gotcha thing, but you ask a lot of questions, and I like to ask questions of people too. And it really exposes their understanding, and they kind of hang themselves when they're able to talk, because they get themselves in trouble, especially on those indefensible positions. When you were on the show, what did you find yourself literally just taking in cannon fire, or were you asking a lot of questions?
No, well, it was identity. It was the video was about identity politics. I'm pretty sure it's still up there. But one of the most frustrating things, anyone who has been part of those productions knows that one of the most difficult things is the edit. And if you have a bias as an editor or a producer, you can make someone look a very certain type of way that might be unflattering. So one of the things I was trying to do was be very clinically precise. When I have the chance to speak, I need to make sure that I'm speaking, and even subconsciously speaking in a manner where if you do cut me, I want it to be auditorily obvious. So, and that's something I did even when I was on CNN, was I will intentionally speak sometimes when I'm in those settings very quickly, because I want to make sure that if you're trying to cut me out or whatever, it needs to sound like you cut me out. So when I was in those situations, what I was trying to do was be so specific and so intentional about when I spoke, because I knew they were going to give me some airtime. Fun fact, we were there for probably an hour and a half. The overall final video was maybe 17 minutes.
Oh, man.
So there's so much that's left on the cutting room floor. But I was like, I knew there was a particular line that was going to make it in when I said it, because it was one of those lines where I kind of broke the fourth wall. And I said, I know individuals in the comment section are going to have an opinion on this. And I looked at the camera directly. I'm like, as an editor, you know that's just a good bit to put in. Well, all that to say, when you're confronted with a differing opinion, the way you respond to it is almost more important than the opinion itself.
Correct.
Because the ability to deliver your thoughts in a manner that comes across well in those settings is honestly so much more difficult than most people realize. The fact that you're able to even host this show, there are things that you are doing that the average person who's watching this video will not ever be able to understand. And that's not throwing shade at all. It's just to show how complex this is. So if it's easy and enjoyable to watch, that is a credit to Matt and Liv and what they built over there, because it's very difficult. But all that to say, I could wax loquacious about this all day long, is the art of defending your beliefs eloquently, cohesively.
Yep.
Is something that a lot more people need a lot more practice in, particularly if we are going to engage people on this ideological battlefield. We have to come correct, and we have to be able to subject ourselves to being in. If I was in a room with 30 people who disagreed with me, I would hope I'd still be able to hold my own. That's something we all should be able to say for ourselves.
If you have not, it's so hard to type like a T-Rex sometimes. Brenda Shepard donating $12. Sold another cup of coffee. Happy birthday, Matt. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Liv. Did you have something?
No. Go ahead.
How to Win Over Friends and Influence People. It's a great book. It's what Damani's talking about. And it's a very difficult thing. I'm not very good at it on this show. Is that when I engage with trolls, I don't care how they perceive me or what their disposition is. But if somebody picks up the phone, you guys know there's a very big difference how I treat people who call or video in, because I always want to try to leave people better than I found them. That's who I am. But asking questions is an amazing thing. But if you want to influence people, you have to be likable. And there's a great video about Andrew Wilson on whatever, and I can't remember the girl he's talking to. Black hair, curly, quite attractive, but very liberal, extremely smart, wicked smart, but she's not likable. And Andrew Wilson was just like, listen, this is why your audience isn't big. It's not personal. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just telling you it's because you're not likable. Democrats don't like you or Republicans don't like you, and you've got to be likable. There's got to be things about you that people appreciate. And she's like, I don't know why you're trying to dig on me. He's like, this isn't a perfect example. You can't take feedback. I'm providing you and saying that your audience should be bigger than mine, but it's not, because you're not likable. And it's not me attacking you. It's a good point. It's an interesting point. And telling people things that they don't want to hear and having them still appreciate the message or the person behind the message is a very difficult thing. Damani, you're excellent at it. I've been in public speaking for a long time, and I fall flat on my face because I get to the point of punching people rather than stroking people sometimes, and it's difficult for me to balance the two, to be honest with you. It's just
you've had to deal with a lot more vitriol than I have. You are literally and metaphorically a seasoned veteran, so by comparison, I feel like some days I'm still cutting my teeth, and that's not to make you feel old. You're very wise, and I aspire to be like you someday.
Oh, shit. God, just man knows what. Everyone wonders why I have an unfettered loyalty to this guy. It's just he's able to make that sound completely just genuine and real, and he's right. So I'm not going to argue with him.
He's right.
Catherine Herridge, you know Catherine Herridge. Oh, Kimberly Jurgemeyer, $20. Happy birthday, Matt. Have a fabulous birthday weekend. Liv, you good?
Yes.
Just a few more. We got 10 more minutes, and then we're going to get Damani out of here and get him out on time because he deserves that. Do you got 10 more in you, or do you got to go?
I can do it. Let's roll.
Okay. Guys, any issue with the audio, you need to let me know. Catherine Herridge is somebody who, she's very well known in the intelligence community. She's very well respected. And whether it be the Pentagon or whether it be in any of the alphabet agencies, she's read in about as much as you can be without having a TSSCI. So just by the way Catherine Herridge talks, she talks about logistical systems. She talks about things that are not classified but confidential, or not necessarily known by the average layman. So she's really sharp. A general was removed from the Joint Chiefs, and a lot of people think it had to do with Pete Hegseth and their relationship. But I want you to listen to Catherine Herridge, that a general avoided somebody who got the jab, who had 3 heart arrhythmia or heart attack situations. I wasn't sure which one it was. Listen, watch the video. We'll learn together. And Catherine Herridge exposed this, and then this man was terminated today. Listen to this.
old. I have had 3 heart attacks, a mini stroke, and I am now getting a pacemaker.
According to this Army memo, your debilitating heart condition can be caused by either COVID-19 infection or the COVID-19 vaccine. Have you ever tested positive for COVID-19?
I don't have a single positive test for COVID-19.
So is this Army memo an acknowledgement that your heart condition is the result of the COVID vaccine?
It 100% is an acknowledgement that it was a result of a vaccine.
What was the cost of following orders?
I mean, it pretty much cost my whole life.
It's a sacred military pledge to leave no one behind. Were you left behind by the Army and the National Guard?
I was left behind and trampled. They watched it, they came back, walked all over me, and then left again.
That's a very serious charge.
I'm very serious when I say it.
Liv, I know you got some thoughts about COVID. I know you got some. Did everyone hear that? Yes? Okay, good. Nobody said anything about the sound. Liv, go ahead.
It really pisses me off that all these companies and military and government made their employees get the vaccine. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. Get the vaccine or you're fired. And now all these issues are coming out with people who did get the vaccine, like her, and they're just like, we're walking away, and they're ignoring the issues. And it really pisses me off. And I'm just curious as that they've opened it up to as young as 2.
Oh, yeah.
And these babies,
demanded it from 2 years old.
Babies are getting it. And it's so sad. And I know when I was working at the school, several of the kids in my class got it when I was in the 2-year-old class, actually 12 to 24 month class. And I was just like, I'd hear that and I'm like, I kept my mouth shut, but I was like, really? Why are you doing this to your baby? I don't understand it. And the ones that were pregnant and had to get it, or were nursing and had to, what are the lasting effects on their children?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they pushed this so hard, there should be so many lawsuits out right now.
Oh, yeah.
So many for the people that their lives got ruined because of this. Hayden has a friend who now has heart issues.
Yep.
Because
myocarditis.
She was pro-vaccine. And her parents didn't get it, but she got it. And she convinced her parents to let her get it. And she now has severe heart issues. And these started back in 8th grade. It's awful what they did with this vaccine. And people wonder why that my kids only get the required vaccines. There's no flu vaccines. I've never gotten a flu vaccine. My kids will never get a flu vaccine. They're not getting HPV, and they will never get COVID. And there is a reason why, because it's not required for a reason. It's my opinion and my option is no. My kids aren't getting it.
I think in 50 years, and I think there will be a massive change, a critical shift. And there's been paradigm shifts that have happened throughout history, whether it be the Age of Enlightenment or the Industrial Revolution or even the Civil Rights Movement. There's massive changes throughout history where cultures and identities and values become almost faux pas or almost something taboo that you don't talk about anymore. And look at it and go, I can't believe we did manifest destiny. I can't believe that was actually put out there. Jim Crow, I don't understand how that actually survived. I think we'll look back on COVID and look at the government overreach and the medicinal influence in our government and the pharmaceutical companies of how much influence they actually had on our politicians. And this is criminal. And I think the long-term effects of this are going to continue to get worse and worse. And I don't even think we've scratched the surface. Dee, your thoughts on this real quick before we wrap with a final video for you and then get you out of here.
Yeah. The fact that we lived through all that just barely five years ago, it feels like we lived several lifetimes. The people who begged to be dominated by the government.
Such a good way of putting it.
That's great.
Hit me harder, Daddy.
No, I used to call them government pincushions.
Yeah.
Because that's what they became.
Yeah.
The extent to which they damage themselves, possibly their own genetics, possibly even that of their own posterity, if they are blessed to have posterity, will probably be one of the greatest crimes against humanity that now we are seeing be excruciatingly documented. It's the least satisfying "I told you so" ever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
the degree to which people are so prideful now that they won't admit that they were wrong should also be studied.
Yeah.
The fact that the specter of unemployment even was ever raised goes to show just how much of an egregious overreach that was. And when you understand the lengths that the government will go to and has gone to throughout history to inflict or impose their will on people, of course you are going to be cynical towards them. I would argue that public sentiment towards public health care on the left and on the right side of the aisle could very well prove to be one of the only remaining truly galvanizing standpoints or stances that we have left. Those on the left side of the aisle, they have a deep distrust of the medical industry for different reasons than we do. But that was the reason why they were celebrating Luigi Mangione ending the life of, I believe it was the United Healthcare CEO.
Yes,
They do
correct.
not like the healthcare industry. On the right side of the aisle, there is such a deep, visceral distrust of the current medical industry that I don't think that will even be restored within 1 or 2 generations. Those out there who watch Netflix, there's a documentary out about the plastic detox, microplastics, all these different things, right? We're just now starting to see this go mainstream, and guess what that tells you? Whenever you see something that goes mainstream to the extent that it's a Netflix documentary, it's an hour and a half long about how microplastics affect one's fertility, one's ability to reproduce. Whenever it goes that mainstream, guess what? There's going to be an avalanche of more discovery to take place over the next several decades. When that happens, there will be, my hope is that there will be courts that are convened and that there will be punishment up to and including capital punishment for those who knowingly inflicted their will on other individuals for no discernible medical reason. Those who truly damaged the lives of young children, 12, 24 months old. And it even goes beyond that. We're talking about even these other procedures where they're recommending that you'll have parts of your body literally sliced off to satisfy a sick, depraved Munchausen syndrome by proxy that many suburban women, unfortunately, are afflicted with. We're living through very dark times. And to your point, Matt, I love the way you described that, how manifest destiny was ever a thing, how, what was the other thing you mentioned? Jim Crow, how that was ever a thing. The question will be, how was COVID ever a thing? How did the party that founded the KKK, how did they ingratiate themselves successfully to an entire generation? Barely a few generations after the KKK was running roughshod over the South. These are all questions that will be posed regardless of who is in charge of writing history, because the one positive thing is that our access to information has never been broader and deeper.
Right. Yeah.
And no matter how hard they try to snuff out the truth or stifle the truth, there will be individuals like you, like me, who will continue to carry that torch and continue to ensure that our posterity understands history so that they are not deemed to repeat it. I could keep talking on and on, but I think I've said enough.
No, it's good. It's good. I want to assist.
I wanted to say
yeah,
something
go
else,
ahead,
too.
and then I want to assist. Go ahead.
What's scary with with everything in the vaccines is people who do not research themselves and people who do not understand things or aren't willing to speak up for themselves. Or like, example, Ethan had to get another vaccine before he could go into 7th grade. So at the time we didn't have health insurance. So I just took him to the county health department because they gave him away for free. So I'm going to assume that a lot of families went there, especially Hispanics and people that don't speak very good English probably went there, because when I went there to take them, there was a lot of Hispanics in the waiting room. When I went
Did
back,
you feel it? Did you feel at home with your Mexican brethren?
And itch on my nose,
You're number uno too to me, honey.
So when I knew exactly he needed one vaccine, we took him back, and the nurse came in with syringes ready to go, and the paperwork to sign said, "So he's getting 3 vaccines today."
No,
I said, no
way.
No, he's getting what? Oh, he's getting 3, and I said, which ones are they? And they're like, this one is the one he needed. This one, I don't even remember what that one was. And they're HPV. And I said, no, he's not getting those. He's getting this one only. Well, no, it's required. He can't go to 7th grade until, no, it's not. It's not required. Oh, yes, it is. And I fought with this lady for 5 minutes till I finally looked at her. And I said, my son is not getting this shot. And I pulled up the email and I said, it clearly says it is optional. If you don't get that shot out of this room,
I'm going to stab you with it.
He has to get it again. We're going to have issues. So either give him the one vaccine or go get your office manager, because I'm having issues right now. Get it away from my son.
Way to Karen up. Good for you.
Well, when she came back, I said, okay, I want to see the syringe and I want to see the paperwork before it even goes near my son.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that if I wouldn't have pushed back, I would have been just like, okay, the school requires it. They can, then stuff is going into my child that I don't want going into my child.
Right.
And it's the people who aren't willing to speak up for themselves that this is happening to, that they're pushing. It pisses me off that they're pushing it.
Go get him, Liv.
Yeah.
Go
Anyway,
get him.
Mama Bear came out.
We're go ahead and save. We're going to hit this real quick. Anonymous donated $52, puts us at $523.40. It looks like Olivia's going to win. Happy birthday, Matt. Hi, Olivia and Damani. Damani, been watching you since the A&M days. I am praying for your audience expands. More people could learn from you. He's at 700,000 followers. He's doing great, and we're very, very proud to have him on here each month. And now he's going to get me on his show so his viewership can go down and I can catch him someday.
Hey, y'all are almost at 400, so make no mistake. If there's anything people should take away from it, find a friend, tell a friend about the show. Let's push Matt and Liv to 400. They deserve it. From the best people that I know, and they're gracious enough to have me virtually break bread with them. We're looking forward to actually getting together in person.
Oh, we can't wait, dude. We're so excited.
When that happens, we're going to have so much great crossover content.
And we're going to have Hayden drive you around when you get here so you can experience it that early.
Oh,
how to drive with a teenager.
I love it. It's going to be, dude, we're so excited to get together. I have to play the last video because I got to give you some promotion. The one thing we have not done is talked about Damani's page, where he's at. I got to show this video just so you can get a taste of who Damani is. It's going to take 2 minutes, and then we are out of here for real so he can be with his family. Here it is.
I've got no audio.
Can everybody hear it? Yes? Good? Good?
I will longer date.
Oh, okay. People said no. Are you kidding me? I know what it is. It's this. It's the videos to the right. It's an easy. Oh, you got to scream out there, Matt. Turn it on. All right, try it now. Here we go.
Liberal woman has a message for you. Take a look.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Okay, as a white American woman, I will no longer be dating white men. I'm looking for anything other than a white man. Okay? Just a heads up.
The minorities of the world don't want you either, lady, okay? I'm looking at your eyes, and you seem to have a couple of undiagnosed issues. Possibly you should be focusing on instead of trying to jump into the dating scene right now, okay? I don't know what you get out of making a video like this or why women will make videos like this in the first place, but they're the first ones who are going to sit there and say, oh, it's so difficult to find a man, but they're going to pigeonhole themselves, right? Like, I do not want a white man. You know why she's saying that, right? Because she's bought into this lie that white men are the most existential threat. They're the most hostile, dangerous people you could ever be around. All this garbage that your average leftist fully absorbs and fully believes. Then they sit out there and they're going to sit there and cry and wonder, why can't I find a man, just a good man, right? Well, it's because you're pushing them all away because you don't want to even entertain someone based on immutable characteristics, the color of their skin, but because you think that gives you some degree of moral superiority, right? You're not going to win any awards for this. And you're honestly just going to keep making a fool of yourself. Those are my thoughts. Hopefully you agree. And if you do, let me know in the comment section down below.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's so perfect. Mello donated $52, 52 candles, make a great big fire. I want to say one thing and giving Damani last word. It's interesting. We go back to COVID real quick and also the white liberal. If you take a look at Damani's saying, listen, there's a distrust in the Democratic Party. I want to be very clear. There's a distrust for white people in the Democratic Party because the Tuskegee experiments laid it out very, very easily for African Americans not to trust the United States government. And if you look at people who were resistant to the vaccine, it was white people, number one, Trump supporters for sure. The second biggest demographic wasn't white Democrats. It was black. And that was on Republicans and Democrats' side. And they were absolutely resistant. So I love that point. Now, if we can just get them to understand the modern day slave plantations and come over to the conservative side and get away from the old KKK Democrats, that would be amazing. Damani, tell people where to find you, how to find your page. I want some self-promotion from you because you deserve it. And thanks for being here. You get last word. 1 minute.
Those who are interested, you can find me at Damani Bryant Felder. It's usually the Damani Felder on other social media platforms besides Facebook. But Damani Bryant Felder is where you can find me. One of the most powerful things you can do is just to watch the content, share the content. It's free. It's not gonna. I'm not asking you to buy a book or anything like that. We are blessed to do what we do, and we could not do what we do, and we would not do what we do if there were not like-minded people out there who are willing to support our efforts, even by just going so far as just to watch a video, share a video. Those are little things you can do that actually do make a positive impact. We are so grateful to you. We pray God's blessings and God's favor upon you. And we look forward to the day when we can possibly meet in person. But until that day comes, just know that you can find me at Damani Bryant Felder on Facebook, the Damani Felder on X, the Damani Felder on Instagram, and the Damani Felder somewhere else. I forget all the platforms I'm on, but just know that I'm grateful that I had this chance to spend time with you guys this evening. Looking forward to being back with you, Matt and Liv, the top of each month, the first Friday every month. Someone mentioned that could even be called Black Friday at some point in time.
It was Olivia. Olivia, she's the racist. She's racist. It's Olivia.
Hey,
It wasn't me.
Did you notice we're dyslexic Oreo today?
I love it. I'm here for it.
Oh my God. Nobody makes Oreo cookies with a creamy filling on the outside. That's so.
Hey, no, they had the Oreos back in the day.
Oh,
Remember?
that's right. They did, didn't they?
Yep. We're nailing it.
Dude, my good
Love
friend Damani Felder, someone like Leroy is one of my best friends, and I've met him, and obviously Damani and I spent some time when he went on Tim Pool, but absolutely no lie, when he comes out here, we are going to be in content creation mode literally for a week, so we cannot wait for it, bro. I love you. It's so good to see you, man, and I want you to have a great Easter, so happy Easter to you.
Happy Easter. Thanks, Damani.
See you, D.
Hey, likewise. He is risen. Take care, y'all.
He is. Thank you. Damani Felder, the man, the myth, the legend. I absolutely love when Damani is on. He is just, dude, the guy cooks. JD Stillwell, hopefully I got in before anybody else. Happy 52 birthday, Matt. We all appreciate everything you and Olivia do. No, thank you. People have been amazing all night, and we appreciate it. We're not quite done yet, but we wanted to say thank you. I don't think I'm going to break Olivia's birthday, and you know what? I honestly don't care. She has been doing amazing, and I can't even begin to tell you how well. Okay, Paul Rivera, 5199. Happy birthday, brother. Great show tonight. Love seeing Damani here. Always great insight from him. You guys are amazing. And I can't thank Olivia enough for how well she has been doing with the bookings and just chiming in. And it's amazing. And it's so nice to have a guest on and to have Leroy and Olivia and everybody feel comfortable that this is their show too. And they've taken ownership of it. I love Damani Felder, and I thought it's hilarious that he heard Black Friday. I thought that was,
that's so funny.
I didn't know he heard that.
That's hilarious. This is by far my favorite birthday message tonight.
Okay, let me see. Mr. Hollandaise, donate $25.60. Happy birthday, you wanker.
Wank! Oh, goodness, that was awesome.
You know, it's funny, just to reflect on Damani a little bit on how we became friends. It's interesting. So his brother, Trey, came on the show, and Leroy watched D and Trey back in the day. And Trey, that was such a great show. He is just like his brother, totally different, but the same as far amazing, verbose and wordsmith beyond reproach. They're incredibly articulate, but so very, very kind. As well. And when I reached out to D, I was like, well, I got Trey. I'm going to reach out to D and say, hey, why don't you come on the show? So I put a message in X, and I didn't hear from him for 2.5 years. 2.5 years. I'm like, nobody's that busy. But Damani's popular. He's been to the White House. He's been.
He met Charlie Kirk.
Well, knows Charlie Kirk. Very big difference. Spoke with Larry Elder. He's been on multiple shows. He's been on all the news channels. He's very, very popular in the conservative movement. So he was kind of on my list. He's on my bucket list. I got to get this guy. I got to collect him. I got to own him. Who cares what the 14th and 15th Amendments say? And I want him. And so I just. I'm not the one that said double stuffed Oreo.
I said dyslexic
Oh,
Oreo.
dyslexic
but
Oreo.
apparently the Oreo franchise got it before me. Remember? They did.
They did.
the oops.
The uh-ohs. So anyway, he reached out and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I would love to be on your show. And then when he was going to be out here for Tim Pool, I was like, I gotta welcome him to Virginia and I got to make him feel at home. So he came here and he got to see the studio and he sat in the chair. He's like, I want to sit in Matt Spear's chair. And I'm like, what the? Talk about meeting someone who you idolize, which I actually do, and then have him show that reverence for you. It was really weird. It was really weird for me because I was just like, no, dude, don't you say nice things about me. You're Damani Felder. And so every time I see him or I have him on and he's so gracious and so kind, and he plays Darth Vader to my Obi-Wan so very well. And I'm not talking about the black and white symmetry of the two.
Yes, you are.
It's very, very cool. So I don't know. So I love the guy. He happens to be, I will say, one of my best friends, and we've only been in the same room, but he's just so kind. He helps me behind the scenes. He helps the show. And so he's a good dude. So if you have a chance, go over there and follow him. I know great things are coming. We're going to expand some things, and I'm really excited about it. I really am. And I think when he comes out here, there's going to be some great content created because we want to do kind of that ebony and ivory thing. And we should, because if you look at all the podcasters and you look at all the political commentary, name a black and white host.
You guys need to write a book together.
That would be awesome. And what I've thought about that
the
is
life and times of every ebony and ivory.
No, I thought about what I thought about doing was taking specific situations throughout history and having the white perspective and black perspective.
Oh, that's cool.
And I thought it would really demonstrate the differences between our education systems and not make it about race, but make it about, societal archetypes.
That would be a really good show.
Yeah, I think it would be too.
That's a good one for here when he's here.
On my side, I would have like lighter fluid and wooden crosses, and he would have Cavossier.
Don't forget the White Robin Hood.
White Robin Hood. He would Cavossier and chicken and watermelon and off on his side, and he'd be wearing a purple pimp zoot suit, and I'd be wearing my Klan robes, and I'd be like, let's go ahead and get Damani's perspective on this because we got the white boy's perspective. Hey, Damani. So no, but I think something like that would be great, and a book setting would be good too. But I think it's important to point out not that he has a different perspective or I have a different perspective, is to point out the inconsistencies of how history is taught through racial biases is even more important, and that's what PragerU does. They do such a great job of pointing that out. Final donations are coming in, 734.59. Jeff Honeycutt came in with $50. Thank you, Jeff. We're going to wrap it up here. So just to give you guys some insight, Hayden, it's great to see so many people, and also all the people on Instagram who joined, a lot of people. It's really great to see. Thank you guys so much. Hayden is going through her baptism on when? Sunday?
Yep.
So she is going to do her testimony, and it's very exciting for us. We're letting her run this. This is hers. In no way, shape, or form have we ever forced the kids with their religious beliefs. In fact, she's the one leading us by the hand more than anything. Mm-hmm. We're going to record it. Dad's going to be there with his camera, and I'm going to mic her up and everything, so we can really hear it. And
I don't know if she's going to be able to be mic'd up because I think she's doing her testimony and then.
Excuse me, I have my lapel mics, and they are. Hayden and I've already discussed what we're going to do. So this, trust me on this. We've got a plan. Dad and daughter are in full action. I think I will end on. Yeah, The View. This is a good one going into the weekend. Do me a favor, y'all, please. Will the baptizing be on the live stream Sunday service? Yes, it will be.
Yes, it will be on the
So
Sunday
you guys
service.
can watch it at the Blue Ridge, the BRBC webpage if you don't have that.
BRBC Bible.
BRC Bible, and you can watch it on the live stream if you guys know our church. We're going to figure out this Instagram thing. I like it. I just want to see it broadcast in 16:9. But I think we have a better option. It's just we got to get it to work. But here is The View, who thinks we're stupid. And if you guys can't hear this, you got to tell me right away. Here it is.
Like magical thinking that all of a sudden the gas prices, which are $10 in California in some parts, a gallon, and the stock market is in the toilet. He thinks this is magically going to come back. Does he really think we're that stupid?
Yes.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, but I'm not one of the poorly educated, okay? Those are the ones he thinks he can get to. And those people are the ones who are going to turn on him.
Well, the crazy thing is, even the poorly educated recognize when they're being grifted.
Yeah.
Poorly, just because you don't have book learning doesn't mean you're
That is
not
correct.
smart enough to know when somebody's bamboozling you.
Yeah. Well, they're
feeling it now.
they're feeling it themselves at the pump.
They're feeling it now. His approval rating is down 30 to 35%, which is at an all-time low. And I didn't gain any
What is it,
clarity.
35?
35%. Yeah. And numbers matter to him.
Hold on.
I will get it.
Go ahead.
Sonny's wearing a bathrobe today.
I
The reason
saw that.
I'm laughing so hard right now is even the uneducated can know when someone's grifting them. Then why do you guys still have an effing audience?
Yeah.
And why are you still on the air? You should be off the air because your show is one big grift.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Folks,
I'm getting it right now.
We're in final donations for birthday special. Jacket will be done next Friday. This is for the birthday, 52nd birthday on Sunday. I want to thank everybody so much for the donations. They are absolutely incredible. We're putting up the BRC church website right now. If you guys want to watch Hayden's baptism, we're going to be doing it on Monday anyway, but we'll also have a great guest here, which is going to be super awesome. The older millennial will be here on Monday. If you think Damani's great, he's great too. They're both doing really well over on X, and he is an amazing human being. I just wanted to say this: when Donald Trump said he loves the uneducated, this is the Democrats and what they do, and I want to make it very clear so you guys understand how to combat this. Donald Trump didn't say we were uneducated. This is an interesting shift that actually happened. Hey, okay, enough of that. I mean, seriously, enough. I tolerate your ass. Luckily, it's a safe sig, but the cat's trying to commit suicide over here. She knocks over my firearm. She comes over and she knocks this over on purpose, knowing that she's going to get Dad's attention. I don't think that's the attention she wanted. No, don't come kiss my butt. No, you stay away from me. I see you creeping. Nope, I don't want it. I'm mad at you. No.
Oh, she's talking back.
Talking back. I swear I'll turn you into a rug.
This is going to be a very small rug.
I love her. She's my friend. So the thing is that if you take a look at demographics, it used to be college educated and non-college educated. That's the way the polling went. But Obama and his administration, when they did their polling and with the news agencies, they went to the educated and uneducated. So it was the college-educated white males and the uneducated. And this changed in the media to show the diametrically opposed, not based on political party, but association political party with intelligence. And this is what they did. And this isn't the first time. If you guys take a look back in history, when the channels were black and white, the political party colors were actually, Republicans were blue. And Democrats were actually red.
Why did it change?
I'll tell you why. Well, because NBC was the first color broadcast. And when NBC did that, there was a lot of anti-communism. And red was associated with communist red. And if you look at McCarthyism and go back throughout the history, the socialist and communist movement was very, very negative. NBC switched the colors when they went to full color broadcast and moved Democrats to blue and Republicans to red. The second reason they did it, but probably one of the main primary, is when they went ahead and put that much red on the screen. And during that time, get her away from my gun, please. I'm serious, like no more.
I know.
Like she's going to knock it over and I don't like that. That's not okay. Is the actual color when they would broadcast and put up these the chromatic colors, is it bled into the screen, and red did not show up as well as blue. So they flipped the colors to show, scratch that, the blue did not show up as well as the red. So they switched it because there was less red, more red on the map than prominent blue. So they switched the colors. There's two reasons why they did it. ABC and CBS, when they went to color, still had the Republicans in blue and the Democrats in red. And they, because NBC was more popular, had a bigger viewership, they went ahead and switched, and then the color parties were actually switched at that time. So there's been language changes over the time where the news media shows bias in their selections, and one of them is the uneducated party. So the moment that they said uneducated voters, Donald Trump is like, I love the uneducated, because he knows they're referring to his. So they took the liberal language and used it against them. And then what do the liberals do? He just called you uneducated. And even though they're the ones that created it, and they're the mass media who was doing that disrespect, remember they called us deplorables, remember when they called us flyover states and gun grabbing, Bible thumping rednecks? Well, this is what they've done. And they took this, use those names, and then Donald Trump embraced it. Just like I call y'all dummies. I don't think you're dumb. I don't think you're stupid. Dummies is because they've called us every name in the book, and it's an acronym for Don't Unfriend Me's. But that would be like liberals say, well, this guy calls his people dummies. And then all of a sudden
Which people have come on here and berated
and
us
I
for
use
that.
it as a moniker of respect, and I'm like, dummies, and I embrace it, and they go, see, they called you dumb. This is what the Democrats have done with the uneducated. So when they say that, wear it proudly, because they're the ones that coined that phrase, and Donald Trump is embracing it. Folks, it's been a wonderful night. I'm going to say Olivia won her birthday fundraiser, and that's okay. It's perfect. It's wonderful. It doesn't matter. It's the kindness and the giving that you guys do is incredible. I will hats off that Olivia is better than me. And what's funny is I had the advantage on age because she's 49 and I'm 52, and she should have had $49 each donation, and I had 52, so I had a $3 advantage on that. So congratulations, Olivia. You are the big winner.
You expect to get any this weekend?
No, I don't, because you're a quitter. We've established that. Amazing night on Monday. We've got the older millennial. I want you all to have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We're going to go get yogurt tonight. Livy, I love you. Have a great weekend. Have a happy Easter. Yes. May God bless you all and have a very, very good week. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Happy Easter.
Good night.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.